5 o'clock is our time. San Antonio's first news. Good Wednesday morning. I'm Charity McCurdy. Among our top stories, the race for the White House.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
Good morning, Rooster, Ray, RK.
Move my mic so they can hear me.
That would help, Chris.
That would help.
Chris is sounding off mic.
Yeah, what can I tell you?
Kemper took an early morning walk to see the planets kissing. Very cool.
I was just out there 7 minutes ago looking at Jupiter and Mars. Amazing. Woohoo!
Bum, 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 bum. Right on, man.
All right. Hey, my people. Good to see my people represented on
Caveman meteorologist.
Ken's 5. Well, we don't like the term caveman.
That's true.
We prefer Neanderthal.
Neanderthal meteorologist. Good morning, Rock.
We prefer. Is the Rock in here? See, I haven't pulled up the feed yet.
Of course he is.
Steve DeRocco, the original Rock. Everybody. Let me see if I can pull that feed up.
Hey, there's a sequel to Lost in Space called Stuck in
Space. Hey, man, you guys wanted to be astronauts.
Yeah. Hey, it happens, man. Today we're playing
RK,
Footsie.
everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, that's loud.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah. Well, an hour and 45 minutes, but yeah.
Yeah, to be accurate. Steve DeRocco, Sam, RK, Rooster, Jacob, Kemper. If you get a chance, Kemper alluded to it.
Oh, Mr. Pibb. Look at Rooster stopping and getting a Mr. Pibb. Day 24, huh?
Steve DeRocco held hostage. Day number 24. He's going all the way till Labor Day. Labor Day in Santa Fe.
Hey, that rhymes.
Anyway, go outside.
Thank you,
Jupiter
Kemper.
and Mars. Go outside. Jupiter and Mars are as close as you're going to see them. It's pretty cool. Eastern sky.
So before this, they weren't very close, is what
They
you were
weren't very
saying. They've
close.
worked it all
We
out.
brought them together.
Thank you.
Kind of like Bob and
I
Cindy.
appreciate that. I appreciate that.
I was thinking, what if Cindy is listening to the show yesterday and I'm trying to say,
I know.
Hey, Bob.
Thanks, Ray.
You've got other options.
Yeah.
You've got Kemper and you've got Jolene.
We were
Cindy cannot be happy.
We were
about
the
that.
people that brought in the love connection, and now it's the love disconnection.
Well, no, I'm just saying.
Single man should have his options.
A man should have options.
You should
and a
have
woman
options.
should have options.
True.
And as Charity said, nothing happens without the permission of the women.
That's true. That's true. As a mother of 2 daughters, a brother of 3 sisters, my dog is female. I get it. I get it.
Ray is welcome in.
Oh, yeah. There's our drummer.
A lot of inmates dying in the Bexar County Jail. There's been like 5 this summer.
Well, jail's tough, dude.
I know, but
You can get shivved just for standing there.
What if you got in there and you were not guilty? You didn't deserve to die, and I don't think they do deserve to die.
We became the divorce court. Thanks, Sam. Appreciate it. Kemper's looking forward to meeting Bob and Cindy. Take pictures and send them to us, please.
Was it Bob and Carol, Ted and Alice movie? I'm just saying.
The thing that was popping in my head, too.
Hey. Just putting it out there.
Now, we've tried, and we cannot actually guarantee this, but Kemper, we have sent a note to Barry Manilow's people for him to possibly do a cover of Jolene in honor of your friend that will be there.
I hope he does it.
Yes, that would be nice if he did. God, man, my nose, I've been sneezing and I'm hoping it's allergies. I could be the carrier.
Yeah.
All you need is a Jack and Diane or a Jack and Coke works.
Little ditty about Jack and Diane.
Two American kids growing up.
Doing the best they can. Love me some Mellencamp.
Me too. I remember when he was
Man, if
Cougar.
he came to town, I would be all over that.
Me and Walter Pasacreta went to go see him at the Verizon Wireless Amphitheater,
How did I
man.
miss that show?
We had a great
I
time. Great time.
He's one of my faves.
Well, because it was funny because he opened with "Give Me Shelter," Rolling Stones,
Very
and Walter's like, "Hey, I think I know that song." I said, "You should know that song."
cool. Jolene is actually a singer. Nice.
Does she sing the song Jolene?
Does she think Jolene? And she's probably too qualified to be in Chopped Liver
That's true.
as one of our background singers.
She could open for us,
Yeah, she could open for Chopped Liver.
or we could open for her,
Or we could be
depending on how good
Chopped
she is.
Liver featuring Jolene.
There we go. It's feet, Jolene, because they never put featuring. It's always feet.
But enough about Jolene's feet.
Yeah.
We're not into that.
Well,
Well,
no, we're not.
anything's possible.
Yeah. You drink enough, you're into anything. You know what I'm saying?
Jonathan Sanchez.
Good morning.
Good morning, Travis. Good morning.
Good morning, Travis.
I'm Sonny Melendrez from Magic 105.3.
Sunny Melendress.
Is that AI Vision or is that Al Vision 100?
I'm going to go with Al Vision.
Whatever it is,
Al Vision.
Al Vision or AI
You
Vision.
can call me Al. You could be my bodyguard.
I could be your long lost pal.
Good morning, Trevin.
Trevin,
It's Al.
good morning.
It's Al Vision.
She and her brothers have a local band, River City Kings. I've heard of that band. Her brothers still perform, but she is on a break from performing.
Uh-oh. Will we see this in Behind the Music?
Exactly. The big break. It happens
Yeah.
all the time, man. Egos, breakups.
Oh, Travis has got a little bit of high-level clouds.
Keep looking.
They're moving,
I had
yeah.
some clouds here earlier.
I had clouds in my coffee.
Clouds in my coffee. And you're so vain. You probably think this song is about you.
Don't you?
Don't you? Don't you? Travis, if you're in the San Antonio area, and I think you are, try again. Because it was when I get to work at like 5 till 4, there were clouds. And then I went back out at about 4:20. Steve Duraco, 4:20. And the clouds had parted.
Look, it's Mike Taylor's older brother
Mike Taylor's older brother.
on the far right, left,
Yeah.
left.
That's teacher Mike Taylor.
Oh, yeah, whatever.
Do we know what grade level he's teaching? High school, but do we know?
No. I saw a
Okay.
post on text yesterday, but
Yeah, he had like
I ignored it.
thank you, Ray Reyes, representing the Beatles as I should. Hey, Judge Sakai wearing
like
his
him.
My Crucifix.
I like Judge Sakai. He's a good
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, Beth was, she was in his court a lot.
Oh, was he?
She
A
very
lot of
good
family
guy.
stuff.
He's a good man.
Yeah, he is.
Michael Taylor.
Oh, sorry. I knew him when he was Mike. I hired him when he was Mike. Look at that, all this fish dying.
Wow.
Yeah, I know, it sucks. Yeah, that's not good, man. That's a
No,
lot of fish, dude.
I wouldn't go swimming in Calaveras.
Oh, you
Lake.
can't. You can't, by the way. It's not a swimming lake. Stand by, Chris.
Thank you, Kemper. Let's do a little radio show.
Okay.
Why not?
Okay.
Who?
I don't know. I got to update that to Texas Radio Hall of Fame. Yes,
Well,
I know.
day one. Welcome into this beautiful day underneath a conjunction of Jupiter and Mars. Get outside and look at it if you can. It is August 14th, 2024, 5 days until the Democratic National Convention in Chicago, 27 days until the first Trump-Harris debate on the 10th of September, 24 days until Taylor Swift's boyfriend opens up the NFL season against the Baltimore Ravens. 78 days until Halloween and 83 days until the 2024 election when America comes together as one.
Kumbaya.
We are the people. We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones who make a brighter day. So let's start living. Charity McCurdy, how are you this morning?
Oh, sorry, Charity.
Hey there. Good.
Hey, Charity's here.
Hey, good. Second morning in a row, I've missed the Mars-Jupiter conjunction. I was going to make a wish, but it was cloud cover, so I was out of luck.
Clouds moved out. When I got here like 5 till 4, it was a little cloudy. I went out at 4:20 and looked
Ooh.
again. Now, for all of our 4:20 listeners, time to wake and bake, everybody. But no,
I don't know what you're talking about.
And I saw somebody on our chat on YouTube say it's cloudy out there. It's variable clouds. They move out. Try again. So I just, Tim, you just saw it recently too.
Yes, I did.
It's so cool. They're right next to each other. It's amazing.
I'll get my hiking gear and make the trek out the studio.
Just go out that back door. Nobody's going to care.
There's an alarm that's going to go
And
off.
it does not go that long, though. It's a real quick
Security
alarm.
sheriff.
Yeah.
They'll take
Yeah, we'll
care
put
of
a good word in for you,
Yeah.
Lauren.
Thanks.
And are those cumulus clouds?
it. That's a good question. We might have to ask one of our many meteorologists. Don't know.
I don't either.
But yeah, get out. It's out there right now. This is the closest Jupiter and Mars will be this morning. I mean, you can see it again tomorrow morning at this time, but they'll be a little further apart. But I recommend checking it out. It's magic in the sky. Let's get this party started with traffic and weather together.
Partly cloudy, partly sunny today, tomorrow, and on Friday. All 3 days, highs right around 100 degrees. It is 80 degrees in Leon Valley, 79 at the Snake Farm, and 78 right here in Stone Oak. WOEI News Time, 5:12.
San Antonio's first news. That's Mr. T, Tim Merriman. She's Charity McCurdy. I'm Chris Duell. EJ Pacheco and Andrew Zimmel doing the heavy lifting, flying the Millennium Falcon. Andrew manning our live YouTube stream. Go to YouTube, look for 1200 WOAI. Bert Lopez, actor Bert Lopez.
That's right, actor.
Just checked in. Hector Gomez, Rooster, Sam. Kemper is in there. Kemper
Nice.
getting ready for Barry Manilow tomorrow night.
So exciting.
Woo!
Now, so if you're going to the Barry Manilow show, do you stop at the Taco Cabana on the way just to
At
get in the mood?
Taco Cabana. See, there should be a tie-in. They should be.
I'm in.
There should be a whole advertising campaign. And of all the commercials that Barry has done,
Why not?
didn't Taco
Yeah.
Cabana pony up the money and have Barry sing Taco Cabana?
I'm sure he'll alter the lyrics of that song
For a price.
tomorrow night. Yeah.
Barry can be bought, I
Yeah, he
imagine.
can. Oh, yeah.
I would
yeah.
think.
Oh, yeah. Anybody can.
And what a week for concerts. Barry Manilow tomorrow night. The very next night, Journey, Steve Miller Band, and Def Leppard.
Yes.
Woo! Speaking of concerts, the man who rules the Alamo Dome,
Yes.
the king of all media, Richard Oliver, in this studio in the 8 o'clock
We
hour.
better clean up a little bit before he gets in here.
Oh, so it's in person. He will be.
Oh, yeah, he's
stopping
coming
in.
by.
He's coming
oh,
in.
how exciting!
Yeah,
I get to
he
give him a hug.
He doesn't
Awesome.
mess around.
He doesn't. I'll hug him for you if you want.
No.
Yeah,
It's not the
we
same.
go way back.
Yeah, he'd rather have a hug from Charity.
Yeah.
I'm
Do you,
just,
do you blame him?
no, I
mean,
don't
come
blame
on.
him. I'm just, we'll do what we can.
All right.
We'll do what we can. Lots going. Another hot day. Are we getting to triple digits today, Charity?
It says upper 90s, but when you factor in the heat index, isn't it always triple digit weather?
It
in
is
San
August.
Antonio?
It is August. so
99
yes.
for the high. I think we're going to get a 100.
And seriously, what's the difference between 99 and 100 in your feelings? I mean, I know it's a degree. Yeah. I mean, it feels, when it's 99, it feels like it's 100.
True.
When it's 100,
Mhm.
do you think it feels like it's 99?
Well,
No.
but when it's 100 and you know it is, psychologically, it's like, oh my God, it's triple digits.
Yeah.
It's hot out there right now.
It is.
Going out there looking at Jupiter and Mars, oh my God, it's steamy and hot out there.
You
Yeah.
broke a sweat. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, unlike the studio where it's like 45.
but we're not complaining about the outdoor temperature, are we, Mr. T?
No, not at
Like
all.
Charity McCurdy, who loves Arctic
Winter.
blasts,
Fall, spring.
so that she can drink her pumpkin spice latte
bring
in
it.
October.
Mm-hmm.
It's already out there.
They're already they're already rolling
I
out
know.
pumpkin spice.
I know.
And like
Why?
Dunkin' Donuts.
Why?
They don't call it Dunkin' Donuts anymore. It's just Dunkin'.
Yeah.
And by the way, why doesn't Dunkin' hire Tim Duncan as their spokesperson? Barry Manilow for Taco Cabana, Tim Duncan for Dunkin'.
Iceman Ice. We're
Iceman
all over
Ice.
this. We should
It
open up
makes
an
sense.
advertising agency.
I'm serious. We should have an advertising firm.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it.
All right.
Man,
Who's with me?
I am.
Okay, good. At least somebody is. Coming up, we'll talk about the heat, and we got a question for you about the heat. Don't go anywhere. It is San Antonio's first news, WOAI News Time 516.
And we're back.
Frankie, welcome in.
Good morning, Frankie.
Frankie goes to Hollywood.
No, Frankie goes to Lavernia.
Frankie goes to Lavernia. Relax.
Don't do it.
Rooster Sam, Tim, Frankie, Steve Duraco, Kemper, welcome in.
Everybody. Good morning, everybody.
It's a 14-year-old doing sports on Ken Spot.
They had to record this before his bedtime
Yes.
last night.
It's a long drop from Dan Cook.
God.
Saying, I miss Dan Cook.
He's too young to be a Dan Cook great-grandchild.
He wouldn't, yeah,
I'm serious. He's
True.
too young.
yeah. Thank you, Sam. Coffee is the wonder drug that works wonders.
Yes, they do frown on the recreational use of meth. We keep
No.
trying to tell them it's not. It's medicinal.
It's medicinal meth. Exactly.
Yeah.
Medicinal meth.
Texas pride.
Texas Pride Barbecue.
I can throw a rock from my house and almost hit Texas pride.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very nice.
That's how close I am. 102 in the Philippines today. But a rainstorm came in and dropped the temperature 20 degrees in 25
Wow.
minutes. That's not bad.
That's a big drop.
Yeah, it is. Is it Earl or Ron?
Good question.
Sam's funny.
Thank you, Sam. There is my Strato tanker. It's not a Yeti. It's a Cody,
It's a
because I
HEB
work in
Yeti.
radio.
It's HEB Yeti.
It's HEB Yeti. Cody. And don't forget to check out Cody's in Port Aransas, Texas. And Port A Pizza. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Port A Pizza's pretty
They will
damn
be at
good.
your door in like, they'll quote you 30 minutes.
they'll be
I
there
don't
in
know,
15.
18 minutes. I don't know how they, you got to make the damn pizza. How do they do it? I don't know,
Their
but
ovens
it's
are really
damn
hot,
good pizza.
Chris. Their ovens are really hot. They cook them really fast.
Yes. But Ainsley going to a cocktail party? What's going
I
on?
don't know, but oh, yeah, rock radio, everybody.
Just ahead of headlines, traffic, and weather, another hot day. You'll get the weather forecast coming up. Then we want to ask you about the weather in just a moment. But first, Charity McCurdy, what stories are you following?
Former President Trump is in North Carolina today, and VP Kamala Harris will be there on Friday. City Councilwoman Adriana Rocha Garcia plans to make a run for San Antonio mayor, and the heat is being blamed for a fish kill at Calaveras Lake. We'll have details coming up. Right now, traffic and weather together.
It's going to be hot. How hot? We welcome in News 4 San Antonio meteorologist Joe DiCarlo. Good morning, Joe. Thanks, Joe. 80 degrees at Fort Sam, Houston, 80 in Leon Valley, and 78 right here in Stone Oak. WOAI News Time, 521.
San Antonio's first news. Charity, you mentioned the dead fish, scores of dead fish in Calaveras Lake. Mr. T and I were just looking at some aerial footage, and I mean, it is so many dead fish in Calaveras Lake, and apparently due to this heat.
Yeah, about 1,000 fish were found dead. Apparently, it happens often, and it's the result of the heat, basically depleting oxygen in the water. But still, I mean, just another side effect to this absolutely punishing heat. It's just ridiculous. I think we're going to see 104 for the high. That's not the heat index, the high come Monday of next week, Monday through Wednesday at the least.
Wow. That is hot. And I live by Calaveras Lake. I drive by Calaveras Lake every day. And to see all those dead fish, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah. So it is clearly hot outside. It is going to get hotter. But the question, Mr. T, is how hot is it?
Yeah, it's so hot that you fill in the blank. It's so hot that I saw a bird pull a worm out of the ground with an oven mitt. That's how hot it is, Chris.
It's so hot, guys, that I've given up trying to look cute when being outdoors. I have my hair down, and no, as soon as I step outside, it's too dang hot to have any hair on my neck. So I just immediately put it in a ponytail or bun just to get relief any way I can.
Wow. I can't believe Charity has given up on trying to look cute.
I thought for 45 years, but
she can't. She steps outside, she still looks the same. It doesn't matter.
So we would like to hear from the people. We want to hear from you on the Talkback feature. How hot is it? We'll let you fill in the blank. Charity, how do they get us that information?
The free iHeartRadio app. You launch it, search 1200 WOAI, look for a red circle. That is the Talkback button. Once you hit it, 30 seconds to let us know how hot is it.
Guys, it's so hot that I built a fire in my backyard just to cool off.
For those of us who are old enough to remember the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, that was a typical, and it would always be Ed McMahon. Johnny would go, "Ooh, it's hot outside," and Ed McMahon, "Ho, how hot is it? Hi-oh!" It was a staple of the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson.
Mm-hmm.
I miss Johnny. And I miss Ed.
And I just noticed too at HEB they changed the sign from ice cream to just cream. That's how hot it is.
It's hot out there, I tell you. It's hot, and it's going to get hotter. Very, very nice. All right, we will hear from you. How hot is it? We'll play those on the air. Stephen from Lytle, this is right in his wheelhouse.
Oh, gosh, yes.
He gives us jokes if it's a serious topic.
Exactly.
He gives us jokes. So he's going to be right there locked and loaded on the jokes. So fasten your seatbelts and stay cool. Lots more coming up. Charity McCurdy with everything you need to know at the bottom of the hour. WOAI News Time, 525.
And we're back.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. Do you want to stick UAW?
Sure.
Or, okay.
Sure. It's a big story.
Works with me.
Yeah, because that's what Rory O'Neill's doing today.
Okay.
So if you want to tease ahead that he's got more.
We'll tease Rory O'Neill.
The bathtub is being considered a pool. I like that one, Sam. This is a good one, man. Sam's working at the HEB at 1604 in Blanco this week.
Get out, Sam. That's my HEB, man. Where are you going to be? I'll come say hello.
If you buy the beer, he'll find you.
Yes.
Oh, wait. No, I'm sorry. He's not drinking. Oh, that's right. You are.
I am. Steve Duraco is not, but I
Okay.
am. But I may be stopping.
Are you drinking his?
I'm drinking his share.
Okay.
Yes.
Because that's what friends do, Chris.
That's what friends are for.
For good times, for bad times. I'll be on my own.
Which a lot of people may not remember, but you and I will. The end credits on Night Shift with
Yes.
Michael Keaton and
Yes.
Henry Winkler
Yes.
and Shelley Long,
Yes.
sang by Rod Stewart.
That's
That
right.
Song. Later
That's
on,
right.
Dionne Warwick and Friends sang That's What Friends Are For. Let's see.
So
Same
Sam is at the Blanco and 1604 this week and in Kyle, Texas next week. That
Why do they move you around? Why do
I
they
don't know,
move
but that
Sam around?
HEB in Kyle is unbelievable. It's a big one. It's a big one. My nephew worked in Kyle, and I used to go see him from time to time. Happy birthday, Keely.
Keely's birthday.
It's also a happy birthday to somebody without a name. But
Yeah,
she's in a
somebody
blue
left her
dress.
name off.
She's in a blue dress, though.
Yeah. She's the devil.
Blue dress, blue
Devil
dress,
with a
devil
blue
with a
dress, blue dress.
on. We should send your picture in for Friday.
Oh, yeah. Probably too late. It's not till Saturday, so they wouldn't. Although Maggie might be doing
That's what I'm saying. Yes. Wouldn't that be something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that one at Bandera in 1604 is a huge one, Sam. You are correct.
So, Sam, what will you be doing at the HEB 1604 in Blanco
Because
specifically?
maybe we'll all come by and see you.
Yeah.
Just to get out of the heat. We'll just come in and hang out by the beer.
Stretch.
Yeah, I'm going to let them listen to Charity here in about a minute.
Yes.
Remember Handy Andy's, right?
Andy?
Yeah, Handy Andy.
Yeah.
I
A supermarket and then some.
Yes, it was. I actually did some work for a guy briefly doing floor waxing.
Floor waxing at the Handy Andy.
Yeah, actually, and we did the one at Pecan Valley. It was great, man. But they would lock us in the store at night because you do it. It take like all night long to do it because you have to strip up all the wax on the floors and then lay it back down and then polish it up. And we'd be finished by the time they open. And we're back.
Hey, everybody. Bob
Hey,
Beavers
good
is
morning,
in here.
Bob.
Bob, if Cindy is upset with me, I'm just kidding, of course. I wouldn't suggest, in all
No.
seriousness.
No,
that
yes, no. Did you
he
ditch
trade
Cindy?
her
Yes.
for Kemper or Jolene, or a 2-for-1 deal?
Well,
Jolene and Kemper for Cindy? So,
that's different. All right, here
Let her
comes
know.
Charity McCurdy. We'll be right back.
5:30 is our time. San Antonio's first news. Good Wednesday morning. I'm Charity McCurdy. Among our top stories, economic policy will be the focus of a Trump rally in North Carolina, and Northside ISD unveils a new fleet of buses with AC. Details coming up. First, traffic and weather together every 10 minutes in mornings. Your Weather Channel forecast for this Wednesday. Partly cloudy, a high in the upper 90s. Tonight's low near 77. Right now, 81 degrees. Former President Trump is holding another rally in North Carolina today where he will deliver remarks on the economy. Fox's Mike Emanuel has more on Decision 2024.
Former President Trump is expected to travel from Florida to Asheville, North Carolina today. His running mate, J.D. Vance, will speak to a rally in battleground Michigan in Byron Center in the southwest region of Grand Rapids. Today's focus for the former president will be, of course, on the economy. On the other side, Harris's running mate, Tim Walz, did his first solo event in front of a union audience. Harris has no public events today, and her campaign has taken some heat for her limited activity. Trump and Vance in North Carolina and Michigan expect plenty more of that down the final stretch of this campaign.
And Harris will travel to Raleigh on Friday for her own campaign event, where she's expected to outline her own economic policy. A federal judge is siding with Chicago leaders in their legal battle with groups planning to protest during the Democratic National Convention next week. The judge decided not to force the city to alter the path it offered to groups aiming to protest the Israel-Hamas war. The ruling comes after several pro-Palestinian activists sued the city in March in order to secure protest routes near the convention. The demonstrators plan to appeal the decision. And Iran could be preparing to attack Israel soon after 2 weeks of threatening retaliation for the killing of Hamas's top political leader. However, there could be a potential solution to prevent an attack. Here's Fox's Jeff Paul.
Iran has reportedly said the only thing holding it back from launching a major attack on Israel is this possible new ceasefire deal in Gaza. And when asked about it, President Joe Biden said he agreed, and that was his expectation. But with these new talks set to pick up in less than 2 days and Hamas yet to fully commit, this region once again finds itself teetering towards a major escalation. It's a nearly daily occurrence along the Israel-Lebanon border. A barrage of drones launched at northern Israel, with the Iron Dome intercepting most that pose a threat. The constant exchange of fire between Hezbollah and Israeli forces only adding to the growing tension in the Middle East.
Iran previously rejected a plea from Western leaders to refrain from any retaliatory attacks, calling it an excessive request. A Texas Senate committee is instructing 4 major tech firms to produce any documents or records related to potential election interference. The Senate Committee on State Affairs sent the document request to TikTok, the parent companies of Facebook and Google and X. State Senator Brian Hughes says the request is part of the panel's probe into social media's influence on voter opinion and possible censorship of online speech. The tech firms must comply with the request by August 30th. While delivering remarks at a Biden Cancer Moonshot event in New Orleans, President Biden announced $150 million in awards from the Advanced Research Projects Agency for Health to support 8 teams of researchers nationwide.
The funding we announced today will help get these tools into the operating room to visualize tumors right away, instead of having to wait for days and weeks and maybe reopen the patient to go back in. It's a promising step to reduce the need for follow-up surgeries and improve treatments.
Before leaving office, the president hopes to move the U.S. closer to the goal of cutting U.S. cancer deaths by 50% over the next 25 years. Well, the start of school comes as the state's healthcare leaders are dealing with a spike in COVID cases that's exceeding the past 2 summers. Dr. Jason Poling at UT Health San Antonio says we have not peaked, and he predicts the numbers will rise even more.
basically gathering a lot of people together indoors, which has less ventilation than outdoors, really high risk environment for ongoing transmission.
He says it's true that kids are not hit as hard by COVID, but the worry is that they'll bring the virus home to elderly family members who are more vulnerable. Northside ISD's fleet of school buses are now equipped with air conditioning. The district recently retrofitted 75 of its older buses with AC prior to the start of the new school year next Monday. Northside's new superintendent, Dr. John Kraft, found out that the district had buses without AC about a month after he took the job. He initiated the project to get the cool air blowing on the buses. District bond money funded the successful effort. Well, a Texas father is accused of trying to kill his infant son. Fox's Stu Guzman has more.
A Paris, Texas man charged with attempted capital murder after police say he gave his 4-month-old baby gasoline to drink with the intent of killing him. Cops say they responded to an assistance call and took 24-year-old Edgar James Bridgman into custody after he admitted he intentionally made his son drink gasoline. Judge setting Bridgman's bond at $255,000. Emergency crews transferred the baby to Paris Regional Medical Center before he was transported to another hospital in the Dallas-Fort Worth area for treatment. Sue Guzman, Fox News.
The Texas Parks and Wildlife Department says a fish kill at Calaveras Lake was caused by low levels of dissolved oxygen in the water. Texas game wardens notified the agency of the death of about 1,000 fish at the lake. Parks and Wildlife says most of the dead fish were red drum. An agency spokesman says the oxygen content was diminished by rising water temperatures, describing it as a seasonal occurrence that happens fairly often at Calaveras Lake. It is 5:37 now with breaking crime news from around the country. Here's Nancy Grace. Traffic and weather together in a minute, but first, a check of your money and the world of business. We say good morning to Ed Corey, live at the Bloomberg News Desk. All right, thanks, Ed. News at the top and bottom of every hour, along with breaking news as it happens. I'm Charity McCurdy. Here's traffic and weather.
San Antonio's first news. She's Charity McCurdy. He's Mr. T, Tim Merriman. Hall of Famer Charlie Parker in the next hour with Those Were the Days. I'm Chris Duell, EJ Pacheco, and Andrew Zimmel flying the Millennium Falcon. Andrew manning the YouTube stream. If you want to see us on video, go to YouTube, look for 1200 WOAI. There's a live chat there as well. Coming up, flashback, we'll go back in time. But if you go back in time to yesterday, that would be the day that the United Auto Workers Union filed federal labor charges against former President Donald Trump and Tesla CEO Elon Musk for threatening to intimidate workers who go on strike. This came from this what's called a space,
Spaces,
this
yes.
X space with Elon Musk and Donald Trump. In fact, let's listen to the moment that caused problems for the UAW.
I mean, I look at what you do. You walk in and you just say, you want to quit? They go on strike. I won't mention the name of the company, but they go on strike and you say, that's okay. You're all gone. You're all gone. So every one of you is gone and you are the greatest. You would be very good. Oh, you would love it.
You're fired, essentially, if workers go on strike. UAW, and if he wants the union vote, that maybe not the best thing for Donald Trump to pontificate about with Elon Musk.
It just sounds like more ammunition for Kamala Harris's campaign attack ads against Trump. Probably not a good look. I don't know if this actually goes anywhere. I know the National Labor Relations Board will decide whether ultimately to investigate the allegations. But again, I think it gets Trump into more trouble than it does Elon Musk. I mean, he's had plenty of run-ins with the NLRB, especially in regards to Tesla. But I just think Trump gets into trouble. Musk, he only laughed. He didn't actually respond to Trump's comments. But this is not a good look.
Now, I'm wondering if this is why the people in charge of the Trump campaign, the powers that be, want him to stay on the issues instead of going off the cuff like that, because it does get him in trouble from time to time.
It's a perfect example. And while I agree with Charity and you, Mr. T, you go off topic and off issue like this, it could certainly cost you some votes. I still don't see how the UAW can sue over this, file federal labor. It's two guys talking. It's two guys talking and riffing, and we know that Trump riffs. And while it wasn't the best topic of conversation for Donald Trump to dive into, I think it's ridiculous to litigate over something he said in what was it, an hour and 47-minute conversation with Elon Musk. I mean, talk about limiting free speech. And Elon Musk's whole thing with buying X was he wanted to support free speech. I don't like the idea that it turned into federal labor charges.
Yeah, I guess UAW President Sean Fain is trying to tie it to the federal law that, threatening to fire workers for going on strike is illegal under the National Labor Relations Act. But it might be a little bit of a stretch. Like you mentioned, it was just a conversation. I don't think it was a direct threat being made.
Yeah, it's not going to go anywhere because once again, Chair, you are spot on. It was just a comment, and what are you going to? You can't prove it. I mean, how are they going to prove that he's actually intimidating anybody?
True.
By saying that.
And this is more about Kamala Harris. The UAW endorsed Kamala Harris's presidential campaign. So this is just another attempt at a gotcha for Trump.
Yeah, and certainly more fodder for the Harris campaign to use and tell union workers and workers in general, hey, these guys may not be your friends.
And Trump has a rally tonight in North Carolina. Better watch what he says, or somebody else will sue him.
Yes, and we're all over that rally.
Yes,
by the way,
are.
we'll have we have a reporter who will be
in North Carolina. Will be at the rally. Who will join us tomorrow morning at 8:10.
Thank you for that. WOAI News Time 5:44.
All right, we got a couple minutes. We're back.
Woohoo!
We have talk back.
We do have talk back.
Oh gosh, yes.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
We're gonna-
Hey, look who it is.
Oh, hello.
Talk backs.
We will start with the Barry Manilow one because I think that's funny. From Nick.
And what's his name?
Nick.
Nick.
Nick on his way
Can't
home from
believe
work.
Nick remembers that.
Nicholas Hensey, actually.
Wow.
You know who that is, right?
No.
George Thorogood.
Oh,
There's the guy that was calling me all the time.
wow.
Yeah.
That stage play written and directed by Jeannie Jekyll's
Oh, cool.
boyfriend,
yeah.
Ross Rudiger.
Ross, man.
Yeah.
Damn, going way back.
And in that stage production, Cassie LeBeau, who went on to American Idol and was I think a semifinalist.
I think she was, yeah.
She went pretty deep.
Speaking of pretty deep.
Trevin, Tommy, welcome in.
Good morning, Tommy.
Hey, everybody. I'm Logan Stewart with WOAI News and comments on that news. Hola a todos mis amigos. How many talkbacks would you estimate? Just
Oh,
the
I've got a
10?
lot. I got a lot. We're not going to get to all of them, so. It's so hot, Chris, that they installed a fan in the deck ceiling. It's so hot, Chris, you can wash and dry your clothes at the same time. Stand by.
It is time to go back in time, but what year will we land in? See if you can figure it out. We will try to figure it out. Let's play flashback. Woo! Ooh. Why do I think Charity McCurdy listened to some Paula Abdul back in the day? Were you as a child into Paula Abdul?
I did. I liked that song "Rush Rush" featuring Keanu Reeves and the music video. There was a lot of great Paula Abdul hits,
Well,
and
you know,
then she went on American Idol, and things went down from there.
Jumped the shark right
Yeah.
there because, opposites do attract, Chris.
Any venture on what year this was?
Is 88 a choice?
It is.
Okay, yes,
It is
let's
now.
go there.
Yeah.
Let's go with 88. Oh,
Missed it by that
this
much.
Sorry. I was too confident.
Yes.
Too confident.
Should have gone with the middle one.
I know. I did find that song a little pitchy, though. Sorry. Had to do that. Charity, what else are you tracking?
Former President Trump hits the campaign trail in North Carolina today. Progressive Minnesota Congresswoman Ilhan Omar was able to successfully defend her House seat, and the Yellowstone spinoff 1923 is set to film in San Antonio next month. We'll have details coming up right now. Traffic and weather together.
Partly cloudy, partly sunny today, tomorrow, and Friday, all 3 days. Hot, highs at least 100 degrees. It is 80 degrees at the Pearl downtown, 79 in Von Ormy, and 78 right here in Stone Oak. WOAI News Time, 5:51.
San Antonio's first news. That is Mr. T, Tim Merriman. I'm Chris Duell. She's Charity McCurdy, and it is hot. It's hot out there right now. It's just going to get hotter and hotter and hotter. So we're asking you on the Talkback feature, how hot is it? Charity, how do they let us know how hot it is?
On the hot iHeartRadio app, you search 1200 WOAI, look for that red circle, and that's the Talkback button. It's like leaving a voicemail. Hit it, 30 seconds. Let us know, how hot is it?
Well, let's start with South Texas Will.
South Texas Willie here. It's so hot, I saw a roadrunner walking.
Very nice. A roadrunner. Wow, and his name was Jeff Trailer. I'm guessing. I don't know. He's a roadrunner.
And look, RK's got a good one. Here he is.
RK here. Well, when laying blocks on the koi pond, have to quit at 1 o'clock. The mortar sets up too fast. When sawing down cedar trees, have burned up 3 chainsaws. It's not only hot, it's expensive. Y'all have a beautiful, sizzling, cool day. Bye, y'all.
See, he got it real. He kept it
He
real.
did.
Uh-huh.
And RK, we saw him this morning. He's still in there now, probably. The YouTube.
Yeah.
There's a live chat on YouTube. You can get up close and personal with RK. 1200 WOAI on YouTube.
As we go out to our favorite school teacher, remember, there's a 2-drink minimum.
Hey guys, Stephen from Lotto, and yes, as soon as y'all announced this topic, I was looking it up. It's so hot, I saw a funeral procession pulling through Dairy Queen. It's so hot that the Statue of Liberty was asked to lower her arm. PU. It's so hot, how hot is it? Optimus Prime was caught transforming into an air conditioner. Y'all have a great day.
Tip your wait staff. They'll be here all week.
That's good.
But, we've talked about the Mount Rushmore of our
Yes.
talkbackers.
Yes.
Stephen from Lytle. I mean, he might.
We might have to make the Mount Rushmore
Yeah.
bigger.
Either that or we'll just have to bump Rooster again. Rooster,
Oh,
been
never.
removed. Stephen
Well,
from
He's
Lytle.
not going to like that because here's Rooster.
Oh, God, here we go.
Good morning, Chris, Tim, and Charity. Hey, it's Rooster. It's so hot outside, the roosters don't have to work so hard to taste the chickens. Nah, that ain't right. You guys have a great day. Rooster.
I don't get that one, and I don't know that I want you to explain it to me.
Please don't. Please don't.
Okay.
All right. On another note, we got this one early when we were talking about the Barry Manilow show, and here's some insight on Chris Duell, Charity.
Hey, good morning, guys. It's Nick on my way home from work. Hey, just hear y'all talking about the Barry Manilow show. Come on, Chris. I saw you years ago for New York City Rhythms, man. That was a really good production, and you did a great job. So why don't you give us a little insight on Barry Manilow? I know you got the scoop. Anyway, y'all have a great day. Thanks.
Wow.
All right, Chris.
I can't believe Nick remembers that. I was once in a stage play at the Josephine Theater called New York City Rhythms. It was based on the music of Barry Manilow. I played I was a concierge at the Manilow Hotel, and the one song I sang on stage at the Josephine Theater was Copacabana. And this New York City Rhythms was written by and directed by a man named Ross Rudiger, and Ross is the significant other of one Jeannie Jekyll, the former and legendary, and she still sometimes now is a writer for the San Antonio Express News.
Nice.
But it was fun, and in that stage play, Cassie LeBeau
from American Idol.
Yes, I can't sing, but Cassie went deep on American Idol.
Was it Paula Abdul that got her off?
It was probably that damn Simon Cowell.
Yeah, he was mean.
Kicked her off. But
never seen it.
That was a fun. That was a fun. I had nearly forgotten it. I can't believe Nick remembers New York City Rhythms.
Chris Duell, the singer.
Chris Duell. It was part of the joke was I sang so badly.
How bad did you sing, Chris?
Funny you should ask. No, I was so bad I was funny. So people laughed at my tone deaf ineptitude at singing Copacabana.
Aw.
Mhm.
I
Well,
would have paid money to see that.
I would have too.
Yeah.
I wish I would have known about it.
Yeah, you could have heckled. Brought some
I love
tomatoes.
heckling.
Thrown some tomatoes at me.
Let's go back to the Mount Rushmore of talkbackers. Here's Kemper.
Well, I guess it's going to be hot as fire today because it's August in South Texas. And although I don't like it any more than the rest of you, I love this time of year because it's only 18 days until college football, baby. So I'm ready to hear that sound of the whistle and the kickoff. And if it's hot, well, it's hot. But it's football season soon.
You gotta love Kemper.
Yes.
She loves college football.
Mhm.
Okay, so currently the Mount Rushmore of talkbackers is Kemper,
Today, yes.
RK, Stephen from Lytle, and Rooster.
Okay,
Just
we're going
wanted-
to
I
leave
don't
Rooster
wanna-
on there. Okay, what
Because
about
Bell
Bell?
hasn't called in
Okay.
yet. So
Maybe it's too hot for her to call.
It's too
It's
hot.
so hot,
It's so
Bell,
hot.
Bell can't do a talkback.
exactly. There you go. Charity McCurdy coming up at the top of the hour. She's got everything you need to know. And Ernesto. I'm not talking Ernesto Ancira, although I should. He's a
You
fine.
should think Ancira.
I think Ancira. He's a fine San Antonian. But I'm talking about Tropical Storm Ernesto, expected to become a hurricane shortly. Got its sights on the U.S. Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico. We'll bring you the latest on that and a whole lot more. WOAI News Time, 5:57.
And we're back.
Hey, everybody. Wow, New York City rhythms. I can't believe Nick knew that.
No, that's a fan.
And I don't
or
even remember.
stalker.
I'm guessing 2005, but I don't even know. I'd have to look it up. Kemper, great talk back
very
as
good,
always.
very good.
She's headed to work. Adios, Kemper.
Adios. Adios.
So, who is Kemper's college football team? We're gonna.
That's a
find out.
great question.
A lot of Longhorn
We
fans
must know.
here. A lot of Aggie fans.
Oh, Frankie took off too. See you later, Frank.
See you, Frankie. Frankie went to Hollywood or Lavernia to get some barbecue.
She's listening with her headset on to iHeart.
Nice.
On iHeart with her headset on.
The way we like it. That's the way. I should stretch. UT all the way for Kemper.
That's what
Hook
we're
'em.
talking about, baby.
This could be the year in the SEC.
You know,
our boss man says
Texas
UT versus Georgia
Yeah.
in the SEC championship game.
Well, Georgia right now, number 1 in the preseason polls that mean nothing, and Texas is number 4.
USC number 23. And they probably don't deserve that.
Well, you lost
Lost Caleb Williams.
yeah, you lost your guy.
Yeah. I become a closet Chicago Bears fan this year just because Caleb Williams, that'll be fun to watch.
You and
I
the
did
whole
watch
city of Chicago.
Episode 1 of Hard Knocks.
Did you watch it?
Pretty good. Yeah.
Was it? I got to watch it, man. I keep forgetting about it. Any Caleb news in that?
Lots of Caleb. Just interesting to see him begin to assimilate.
Yeah.
Nothing huge. He is, though, we have seen these stories about even though he's a rookie, he's become the leader in the locker room. They want him to be. He's telling the other players to pick up their trash and don't make the janitorial crew clean up after you, which is amazing as a rookie coming in. Dennis Witt.
He's our
Pennsylvania truck driver. Hey, Dennis, you are on our Mount Rushmore. We'll kick Rooster off
again
and put you on.
Again.
Good to see you, man. We always enjoy your talkbacks, and we appreciate your listening.
Cool wishes from Pennsylvania. Got to love that.
Dead fish.
Yep. Easier to catch that way, Chris.
Who's saying fish head? Fish. Fish
Something Barnes.
Play fish head. In honor of the dead fish in Calaveras Lake, Adriana Rocha Garcia. I'm not seeing it. God love. Who was that? Rock House. What was his first name? And I remember that other radio station over there.
Yeah.
They used to say Brock
Kevin.
the vote.
Kevin
Brockhouse.
Yeah. Actually,
He would be on freaking. We're gonna Brock the vote, man.
All right, here comes Charity, everybody.
6 o'clock is our time. San Antonio's first news. Good Wednesday morning. I'm Charity McCurdy. Among our top stories, the race for the White House heads to North Carolina, and another candidate is in the running for SA mayor. We'll have details, first traffic, and weather together every 10 minutes in mornings. Your Weather Channel forecast for this Wednesday: partly cloudy, a high in the upper 90s. Tonight's low near 77. Right now, 81 degrees. Well, former President Trump will rally in North Carolina this afternoon. Fox's Tanya J. Powers has more on Decision 2024.
Former President Donald Trump is making a campaign stop in Asheville, North Carolina. Today's rally is being held at Harrah's Cherokee Center, the same venue where he spoke in 2016 during his presidential campaign against Hillary Clinton. He's expected to talk about the economy and will be joined by North Carolina Republican Representative Chuck Edwards. While the former president is in North Carolina, his running mate, Vice Presidential nominee J.D. Vance, is campaigning at a stop near Grand Rapids, Michigan. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
One California sheriff is objecting to a new ad that seeks to present Vice President Harris as someone who was tough on border security when she was California's Attorney General. Speaking on Fox's Ingram Angle, Tulare County Sheriff Mike Boudreaux, who was seen in the ad standing next to Vice President Harris during a press conference on a drug bust, says he trusts former President Trump to be tougher on the border.
What we need to do is make sure that we have a leader who's going to support law enforcement. I couldn't, in good faith, standing there alongside my colleagues, remotely give the implication that we were supporting Kamala Harris.
And this comes as there's a new warning about an ultra-violent Venezuelan street gang that has increasingly been causing problems on the border. A group of sheriffs from across the country say that members of the Tren de Aragua have been given the green light to attack law enforcement.
We're getting the worst of the worst coming from all these countries invading our southern border, and we are absolutely not doing anything about it.
Clint McDonald of the Texas Border Sheriff's Coalition says members of the gang started showing up at the Texas border in March of last year. Well, the United Auto Workers say both former President Trump and Tesla chief Elon Musk violated federal labor law by discussing firing workers during Monday night's live stream conversation on X. Fox's Evan Brown has more.
The UAW is now filing complaints with the National Labor Relations Board over comments shared between Elon Musk and former President Trump during their live talk on the X app Monday night. The former president mentioned something about an unnamed company dismissing striking workers, which the Auto Workers Union claims is illegal to do, and the former president and Musk's comments were tantamount to threats against workers. Meanwhile, about 2,400 UAW members could be losing their jobs at Chrysler-owned Stellantis in Warren, Michigan, due to it ending production of a series of Dodge Ram pickup trucks. Eben Brown, Fox News.
Progressive Congresswoman Ilhan Omar is one step closer to keeping her seat in the House as she won her primary in Minnesota.
We know it is joyful to want to live in a peaceful and equitable world.
Meantime, in Texas, local Democratic leaders chose former Houston Mayor Sylvester Turner as the nominee to replace the late Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee on the November ballot. And another San Antonio City Council member is tossing a hat in the ring for Mayor Ron Nirenberg's job.
While District 4 Council member Adriana Rocha Garcia is not the first from San Antonio City Council to announce a run for mayor, she is the first woman to do so in a crowded field that includes her colleagues John Courage and Manny Pelaez. Rocha Garcia chairs the Planning and Community Development Committee and sits on several others. She's an associate marketing professor at Our Lady of the Lake University. Tech entrepreneur Beto Altamirano is also running for Nirenberg's term limited office. Voters decide May 3rd of next year. Eric Lycum, News Radio 1200 WOAI.
Oh, this is exciting. The Paramount Network is coming to San Antonio next month to film a Yellowstone spinoff called 1923. The spinoff is an origin story that stars Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren. The show's second season started production in June and filmed scenes in Austin. Filming in San Antonio will take place on Broadway and on Trafford Street in the downtown area. Prep work starts September 9th and filming takes place from the 19th to the 27th. Local businesses have already been notified of street closures during that time. It is 6:06, news at the top and bottom of every hour, along with breaking news as it happens. I'm Charity McCurdy, traffic and weather coming up.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Margaret.
Margaret, you got Greg Brockhouse. I couldn't access his name.
Well, you got the last name there. That was good.
Yeah. Brock the vote, everybody.
Don't Brock the vote, baby.
Don't Brock the vote, baby. Brock the vote. Forward.
Have a great one, Sika.
Sika Pollen. Tim Merriman. Send. And let's listen to.
Yeah, I can pull it up.
Joe Bags.
Next week, and I'm thinking a whole lot's going to change between now and then. You've got to figure that the now called nominee, that's right, Chris, the DNC isn't until next week, and I'm thinking a whole lot's going to change between now and then. You've got to figure that the now called nominee, Kamala Harris, is going to have to talk to reporters. She's going to have to sit down and do some.
This is something DNC.
Yeah. Cheers to you. This guy wants you to sing Copacabana so we can all and record it so we can play it for the people. Ain't gonna happen.
Yeah. You
it's nice to have goals and dreams.
Yeah. So not gonna happen.
No. Have you ever thought about singing the national anthem, Chris?
Nobody wants to hear my rendition. Carl Lewis would sing it better than I could.
Bob, before I leave, I saw this on Instagram. We should ban shredded cheese and make America great again.
Oh, nice.
I love it.
I like that.
That's pretty damn good. You go, Bob.
Is he still there?
No, he was leaving.
I'll read that on the air.
Yeah. That's pretty funny, actually. I like it. I love
Very
it.
funny.
I would like some more of it. Oh, fish are still dead in Calaveras, by the way. This just in. The fish are still dead. Look at that, man. I drive right. Good thing I don't roll my window down when I drive by the Calaveras Lake.
Thomas Jane.
San Antonio's first news. We just went out a few minutes ago and looked at Jupiter and Mars, the conjunction. Very cool.
Charity's not happy about that.
Charity, you gotta just walk on, just walk out that emergency exit.
Yes.
I need that moment of zen.
It's
I'm
a
so
cool
jealous.
moment of Zen. Yes.
Seriously, just open that back door up. It only beeps for a second.
Run it through our security guard. Let me know what they say.
Just got the thumbs up from Lauren. So
no,
yeah.
I don't trust you. I don't trust you.
You will only be cuffed until the authorities
Yes.
arrive.
Yes.
The handcuffs do come off eventually.
They're just zip ties, but yes.
Lots coming up. Big 6 o'clock hour, 6:40. White House correspondent John Decker, the latest on attempts to hack into the campaigns of Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. Charlie Parker with Those Were the Days at 6:48. And coming up, the latest on tropical storm, soon to be Hurricane Ernesto. But first, let's get you caught up on traffic and weather together.
Partly cloudy, partly sunny and hot today, tomorrow, and on Friday. All 3 days, highs of 100 or more. It is 80 degrees in Alamo Heights, 79 in Helotes, and 78 right here in Stone Oak. WOAI News Time, 6:11.
San Antonio's first news coming up at 6:20. We are asking you on what will be a very hot day, and the temperatures will continue to rise over the next several days into the triple digits. We're asking you, how hot is it?
It's so hot, Chris, that even artificial flowers are dying.
See, that's hot.
That's hot.
That's hot, I tell you. So we'll get more of your responses. From extreme weather here with the heat to tropical storm Ernesto, it is moving closer to hurricane strength winds. It is got its eyes set, easy for me to say, on Puerto Rico, the U.S. Virgin Islands, and they're saying that it could dump between 8 to 10 inches of rain on Puerto Rico, Charity.
Yeah, I guess the good news is it's not really expected to impact the U.S., but I mean, there's definitely the threat of dangerous rip currents and rough surf along the Atlantic coast. But, you know, I think of Puerto Rico, which just has a history of dealing with these destructive storms. So I'm sure they're ready, but they have a very fragile power grid. I think in 2017, I remember they had like 2 hurricanes and it knocked out its power grid, and some people were without power for like up to a year. It was insane.
Yeah, and it looks like it won't pass directly over Puerto Rico. It's just going to kind of skirt it. But still, 8 to 10 inches of rain could cause mudslides, flash flooding, and Charity mentioned the power grid. They're being warned already to get ready for losing power, and they just can't catch a break. They're still recovering from Maria, and I forget what the name of the
Irma,
other one.
I think it was the other one.
Yeah, Irma and Maria. They're still, like she said, still trying to get out from under that one. And just think about cruise lines. You know, that's one of their routes. I'm sure they're having to change which way they're going.
That I didn't think about cruise lines.
Yeah.
That's a huge point and a huge issue, certainly for the cruise lines. And we continue to say it. You know, we're still relatively young into this hurricane season because it's going to go into and through November, and it was predicted to be a very strong and intense hurricane season. And Charity, while it sure looks like Ernesto will not affect the mainland of the United States, there's still more brewing out there, and we have to just continue to be vigilant.
Absolutely. I mean, hurricane season runs through the end of November, but a lot of times it starts early and ends late. So after Ernesto, the next letter in the alphabet is F, which will be Francine. So it's just a matter of time.
Francine.
I know a ZZ Top song called Francine. Yeah, it's kind of cool, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. And you got to remember, too, just because it's a tropical storm and not a hurricane doesn't mean it can't do damage and cause all kinds of stings.
Yeah, we talked about this last week with Weather Channel meteorologist Ray Stajic. We are kind of trained as consumers of weather news and information. It's like, oh, it's not a category 3, then it's only a category 1, or it's only a tropical storm. No, these can do damage. They can be deadly. They can be devastating even before they become hurricanes. Tropical storms, especially with storm surge and rain and flooding, can be very, very dangerous. Keep it right here for the latest on tropical storm, soon to be Hurricane Ernesto. Coming up, from hurricane weather to hot weather, and how hot is it? We ask you coming up. WOAI News Time, 6:15.
And we're back. Hee-ho. Later, Bob.
Later, Bob.
Bye, Bob.
Adios, Bob.
See you, Bob.
See you, Bob.
Ooh, Rooster has they have a crew stationed at the power plant. Are they picking up the dead fish, Rooster? Margaret, that's a good one. So hot outside, her frozen pizza was ready to eat by the time she got home.
Very nice.
We're talking hot.
That's,
We're talking
it's
hot.
hot, I tell you.
I've only got 2 right now, but I've got a couple of my own that we could use. Yeah. So hot, I'm sweating like a politician on election day.
Wow.
Election day. That's how hot it is, Chris. I'm talking hot.
It's hot, I tell you.
Magic Time Motors, everybody. Do 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 do. Make sure we get out on time. $25, Chris. $25.
25.
25. 25. 25. Because we do have Mr. John Decker, everybody. That's funny, Rooster. That's going to get you back on the Mount Rushmore.
You're back, Rooster. We're going to bump Stephen from Lytle now.
No, not Stephen from Lytle. He keeps us entertained. The auctioneer. Love it. Just sounds funny to hear Andy Everett say wiener dogs. Stand by.
Just ahead of headlines, traffic and weather together. Coming up at 6:40, White House correspondent John Decker on attempts to hack into the campaigns of Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. We'll get the latest. How hot is it? You're about to tell us. But first, Charity McCurdy, what stories are you following?
North Carolina will see both Donald Trump and Kamala Harris this week. The United Auto Workers Union is filing federal labor charges against former President Trump and billionaire Elon Musk. And stranger danger is a big concern as a new school year begins. We'll have details coming up. Right now, traffic and weather together.
Partly cloudy, partly sunny, and hot today, tomorrow, and on Friday. All 3 days, at least 100 degrees. It is 79 degrees in Helotes, 78 in Castroville, and 78 right here in Stone Oak. WOAI News Time, 6:21.
San Antonio's first news, Charity McCurdy, Mr. T, Tim Merriman, Charlie Parker. Did we mention that he's in the Texas Radio Hall of Fame?
Not today.
Well, he's not officially in, but he will be.
He's an inductee.
He's an inductee.
Yes.
Well, no, he's not an inductee yet. He hasn't been inducted yet.
Well, he's
Soon to be.
presumptive
Presumptive.
Okay.
There you go.
inductee.
All right.
Unless he
That's it. That's
somehow
it.
screws it up by October, which he would not. As far as we
November,
know.
but yes.
I can picture
Is it
Charlie
November?
saying,
November 2nd. Yes.
November 2nd.
I could picture Charlie saying, hold my beer. You know, I could screw this up. Yeah.
So are we road tripping to Kilgore, Texas, Charity, on November 2nd to celebrate, tailgate outside the big facility, and then celebrate Charlie Parker's induction into the Texas Radio Hall of Fame?
I would love to, but considering Charlie has a family conflict that is preventing him from attending, I don't think we should be there if Parker's not there.
We
It's not the
shouldn't
same.
represent him. We shouldn't do the speech.
I
for
don't
him.
think he wants us representing him. Trust
Accepting
me.
the award for Charlie Parker, Charity, Tim, and Chris. All right, just saying. All right, if you don't want to.
I'm washing my hair that day, so
Okay.
I can't. I'm sorry.
Darn it.
Right, Charlie will be along with Those Were the Days at 6:48. It is hot out there, I tell you, and it's only going to get hotter. And Charity, we are asking the people, how hot is it? How do they respond?
The free iHeartRadio app, you search 1200 WOAI, you look for that red circle, that's the talkback button, hit it, 30 seconds, let us know, how hot is it?
Yeah, like it's so hot that I started leaving the toilet seat up at home just to get those icy stares from my wife.
Oh,
We're talking hot.
It is so hot, cows are giving powdered milk.
Oh,
It's hot. And I heard Carson do this one once.
Yeah.
It's so hot, I saw two trees fighting over a dog. That was a Tonight Show Johnny Carson, how hot is it joke.
But doesn't it come out warm? That's what I've heard. So I don't know if that would help.
Because it's so hot that the
Yeah.
They'll
dogs
take whatever they
won't
can
can't
get.
help it. I
Okay,
mean,
all right.
be fighting over that pee.
Sorry to get technical. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah. All right, you ready to go to the peeps?
Let's do it.
All right. Let's go to Michael.
Good morning, First News. So it's so hot outside. This is Michael, by the way. It's so hot outside that you need to schedule a karaoke bar greeting with Chris singing Copacabana and record it for all of us. You guys have a great day. Bye.
Michael, I don't think that would cool anybody off. I think that would be just.
That would not be cool.
Yeah, there's a reason I don't sing often. I can clear out a karaoke bar in about 30 seconds, because I don't want to clear out a radio show. So
Yeah, let's not do that.
we will
All
refrain
right,
from
let's
that.
check in with the tab master.
Good morning, crew. Tab Master here. It's so hot and humid. Every time I jump out of the truck, my glasses fog up. It's so hot that every man and woman working outdoors needs hazard pay. It's so hot, it must be making people delirious or something, because whoever heard of a rooster working hard? Ha. Stay indoors, y'all, and have a great day.
Now, Tab Master, glasses fogging up when
It
you get
happens
out of
to
your
me,
car
yes.
happens to me all the time.
Yes,
Mhm.
So that is a true
that
to
is a
life
true thing. Yes.
issue when it gets this hot.
Now, do you guys like roll down your windows just to allow some ventilation of your vehicle when it's parked?
Oh God, yes. When I
Okay.
first get
Yeah,
in,
when you first get in,
yes,
yes.
I try to get
Yes.
airflow, crank the air, and get some airflow
Yeah,
in the
and
vehicle.
then step outside and sweat for a little bit and then get back in.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm telling you, like a remote engine start is a
Oh.
great investment during San Antonio summers. I mean, get that baby going, the AC pumping. It'll save you about a good 5 minutes trying to cool down your car.
Very, very cool. News you can use. Coming up, White House correspondent John Decker on hacking attempts into the campaigns of Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. WOAI News Time, 625.
And we're back.
Hey, everybody.
They cleaned up the icing stare one there.
Yeah, it was funny.
Hey, good morning, Louie.
Louie.
Oh, cool. So you're gonna get my- that's cool.
Louie.
See, that's why, right there.
That's why I don't sing in public. Thank you. Thank you very much. Travis, Bobby, welcome in. Jacob, SWAT Cats.
Jacob, it was so hot. I bought a loaf of bread. By the time I got home, it was toast.
Boom.
That's hot.
That's hot.
Good morning, Bobby. Do, 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 do. Good morning, SWAT Cats. So hot, my campfire asked for a drink of water. That's pretty good, RK. It's Sofa King hot. I like that. JD Vance.
Sofa King.
Sofa
hot.
King.
Nice.
When I was at SAC, I had to do a project, and it was commercials for whatever made up stuff. And my professor said if I could make them laugh, that I would get an automatic A. So my store was the Sofa King, and our prices are Sofa King low.
Beautiful.
And he could not stop laughing. And I got an A, man.
Charity McCurdy coming up.
JD Vance ditched the couch for the refrigerator. Love it.
Who said that one?
Trevin.
Very funny. It is so hot. JD Vance is ditching the couch for the refrigerator.
Margaret, that's funny.
I almost called my ex so he can be around, so I can be around something shady.
Oh, that's great.
Very nice,
That's
Margaret.
great. That was pretty funny, actually. I like it. I love it. Want some more of it. And also with the Sofa King store, I also did the Helen Beck grocery store.
Okay.
Because you had to do a donut, you do this, and then, okay, this is on sale. Come if you want the best for less, come to Helen Beck.
Nice. Yeah. Julie, welcome in.
Good morning, Julie.
Julie, welcome in.
Hey, Steve Miller, everybody. He's a joker.
He's a smoker.
He's a midnight toker.
He gets his loving on the run.
What are the pompousness of love, though?
That's a great question.
I've never understood that one. What the hell are you talking about, sir?
Yeah, he was probably some drugs involved in the writing of that song.
Stevie Guitar Miller and drugs? I don't know about that one. So one person I could not find a set list for.
Really?
Yeah. Apparently he just wings it.
Good.
Which
Even
is
better.
why she's got so much stuff, man.
Yeah.
He's only going to get 45 minutes, man. You probably just, hey, what do you guys want to play? Okay,
Yeah.
let's do that. Let's do that then. Now, the big question is, will they be selling the Def Leppard drumstick with the two heads?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's good, Jacob. Still not hot enough to drink that last Bud Light in my fridge.
Oh, that is funny.
I'm going to steal that one. That's a good one. All right, I'm going to let you listen to Charity here.
Charity McCurdy, everybody.
Charity, everybody.
.30 is our time. San Antonio's first news. Good Wednesday morning. I'm Charity McCurdy. Among our top stories, economic policy will be the focus of a Trump rally in North Carolina, and Northside ISD unveils a new fleet of buses equipped with AC. Details coming up. First, traffic and weather together every 10 minutes in mornings. Your Weather Channel forecast for this Wednesday, partly cloudy, a high in the upper 90s. Tonight's low near 77. Right now, 80 degrees. Well, former President Trump is holding another rally in North Carolina today where he will deliver remarks on the economy. Fox's Mike Emanuel has more on Decision 2024.
Former President Trump is expected to travel from Florida to Asheville, North Carolina today. His running mate, J.D. Vance, will speak to a rally in Battleground, Michigan in Byron Center in the southwest region of Grand Rapids. Today's focus for the former president will be, of course, on the economy. On the other side, Harris's running mate, Tim Walz, did his first solo event in front of a union audience. Harris has no public events today, and her campaign has taken some heat for her limited activity. Trump and Vance in North Carolina and Michigan expect plenty more of that down the final stretch of this campaign.
Vice President Harris will travel to Raleigh on Friday for her own campaign event where she is expected to outline her own economic plan. The Biden administration is approving a nearly $20 billion weapons sale to Israel. The deal will include F-15 fighter jets, air-to-air missiles, and tactical vehicles. It comes as Iran could be preparing to attack Israel soon after 2 weeks of threatening retaliation for the killing of Hamas's top political leader. However, there could be a potential solution to prevent the attack. Fox's Jeff Paul has more from Tel Aviv.
Iran has reportedly said the only thing holding it back from launching a major attack on Israel is this possible new ceasefire deal in Gaza. And when asked about it, President Joe Biden said he agreed, and that was his expectation. But with these new talks set to pick up in less than 2 days and Hamas yet to fully commit, this region once again finds itself teetering towards a major escalation. It's a nearly daily occurrence along the Israel-Lebanon border. A barrage of drones launched at northern Israel, with the Iron Dome intercepting most that pose a threat. The constant exchange of fire between Hezbollah and Israeli forces only adding to the growing tension in the Middle East.
And Iran previously rejected a plea from Western leaders to refrain from any retaliatory attacks, calling it an excessive request. Delivering remarks at a Biden Cancer Moonshot event in New Orleans, President Biden announced $150 million in awards from the Advanced Research Projects Agency for Health to support 8 teams of researchers nationwide.
The funding we announced today will help get these tools into the operating room to visualize tumors right away instead of having to wait for days and weeks and maybe reopen the patient to go back in. It's a promising step to reduce the need for follow-up surgeries and improve treatments.
Before leaving office in January, the president hopes to move the U.S. closer to the goal of cutting U.S. cancer deaths by 50% over the next 25 years. Well, some Texas state senators are calling on big tech to pony up records or documents related to possible election interference.
The bipartisan Senate Committee on State Affairs, chaired by Republican Brian Hughes of Mineola, has demanded the 4 biggest tech players to produce anything that pertains to how social media could be influencing voter opinion and possible censorship of online speech. Senator Paul Bettencourt of Houston is reportedly concerned that Democrats seem to be getting more get-out-the-vote ads on Google than Republicans are. Hughes is giving TikTok, as well as the parent companies of Facebook, Google, and X, until August 30th to come up with the requested info, or they will start issuing subpoenas. Eric Lycum, News Radio 1200 WOAI.
A new downtown stadium for the San Antonio Missions will have to meet Major League Baseball standards for minor league team affiliates. The team's owners say Nelson Wolff Stadium, the Missions' current home, falls short. MLB officials want to see more lockers and bigger facilities for players and staff at Wolff Stadium. There's no room to add them 1994 facility, so the Missions need a new ballpark. The new stadium will need more seating, larger clubhouses, improved batting cages, and other upgrades. Well, we're barely into the new school year, and there are already reports of men acting suspiciously around children who are walking to school. Former Dallas ISD school chief Craig Miller says it's important for parents to talk to their kids, especially if they walk or bike to school.
You just have to prep your kids so that they know when they are approached by someone that they're not familiar with, then, stranger danger, it's not right that they run from that situation or not even put themselves in that situation.
Miller says parents should never allow young children to walk to school alone. They should have an adult, a group of friends, or sibling to go with them. And the start of school comes as the state's healthcare leaders are dealing with the spike in COVID cases that's exceeding the past 2 summers. Dr. Jason Bowling at UT Health San Antonio says we have not peaked, and he predicts the numbers will rise even more.
basically gathering a lot of people together indoors, which has less ventilation than outdoors, really high-risk environment for ongoing transmission.
And he says it's true that kids are not hit as hard by COVID, but the worry is that they'll bring the virus home to elderly family members who are more vulnerable. Northside's ISD's fleet of school buses are now equipped with AC. The district recently retrofitted 75 of its older buses with AC prior to the start of the new school year next Monday. Northside's new superintendent, Dr. John Kraft, found out that the district had buses without AC about a month after he took the job. He initiated the project to get cool air blowing on the buses. District bond money funded the effort. Well, a Texas father is accused of trying to kill his infant son. Fox's Sue Guzman reports.
A Paris, Texas man charged with attempted capital murder after police say he gave his 4-month-old baby gasoline to drink with the intent of killing him. Cops say they responded to an assistance call and took 24-year-old Edgar James Bridgman into custody after he admitted he intentionally made his son drink gasoline. Judge setting Bridgman's bond at $255,000. Emergency crews transferred the baby to Paris Regional Medical Center before he was transported to another hospital in the Dallas-Fort Worth area for treatment. Sue Guzman, Fox News.
The Texas Parks and Wildlife Department says a fish kill at Calaveras Lake was caused by low levels of dissolved oxygen in the water. Texas game wardens notified the agency of the death of about 1,000 fish at the lake. Most were red drum. An agency spokesman says the oxygen content was diminished by rising water temperatures, describing it as a seasonal occurrence that happens fairly often at Calaveras Lake. It is 6:38. Traffic and weather together in a minute, but first, a check of your money and the world of business. Ed Corey is live at the Bloomberg News Desk. Thanks, Ed. News at the top and bottom of every hour, along with breaking news as it happens. I'm Charity McCurdy. Here's traffic and weather.
San Antonio's First News. We are your Decision 2024 headquarters, and a huge part of our election coverage is White House correspondent and attorney John Decker. He has been tracking this story about the FBI investigating attempts to hack into the campaigns of Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. John, what's the latest on this hacking story?
Well, the latest is this. The FBI has repeatedly
in congressional hearings, in private closed-door briefings to lawmakers, warned about foreign countries trying to meddle in the upcoming 2024 election, including using AI, artificial intelligence, to spread misinformation. Well, the FBI now says it is investigating the apparent hacking of the Trump campaign, also investigating an effort to gain access to the accounts of top Democrats. This is what they're calling a campaign cyber intrusion. Now, the Trump campaign maintains that the bad actor here is Iran. That's what the FBI is investigating. The Harris campaign has indicated that none of their accounts have been hacked. So even though that investigation continues on the Democratic side, it seems as if the focus really is on the Trump campaign.
And John, what do we know about these sensitive documents that were hacked? And do you think they'll ever be made public?
Well, apparently, they have been made public to a certain extent. What has been released, essentially, opposition research done by the Trump campaign on what eventually became Donald Trump's running mate, J.D. Vance, and what potentially could be used against J.D. Vance by Democrats during the course of the campaign. An email was sent to a number of news organizations. A number of news organizations, interestingly enough, decided not to publish this information about J.D. Vance, but that's the information that apparently was obtained through this cyber intrusion.
So if they do find out who is actually doing these hacks, what can the FBI do about it if it is a foreign entity?
Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, if it's Iran, there's not much that the FBI can do. Iran has already put out a statement, not surprising in terms of what their statement says, that they have no involvement in any effort to hack into the campaigns of either the Trump campaign or the Harris campaign. You can take that denial with a grain of salt. But we do know that the FBI has said that bad actors like Iran were involved in trying to meddle in our election process in the 2016 election campaign cycle and also in the 2020 election campaign cycle.
John, it would seem to me that if the dots can be connected to Iran and Iran is hacking into the Trump campaign, it sure seems like Iran does not want Donald Trump to be the president of the United States again. It seemed to me that the Trump campaign should and could use that and say, hey, this is one of the biggest adversaries on the planet, and they don't want me to be the commander in chief because I would handle them better than Kamala Harris. I wonder if Trump will ever utilize that as a position in his campaign.
I don't know. It's a good question. What the Trump campaign and what Donald Trump has maintained is that as it relates to that particular foreign policy issue, Donald Trump, they claim, would be tougher on Iran than the vice president, and if indeed she was elected president. But that is certainly a possibility. We know that it was Russia in 2016 that hacked into the Clinton campaign. And what was the reason behind that? Perhaps Russia felt concerned about Hillary Clinton becoming president of the United States, that she would be tougher on Russia than Donald Trump ultimately was. I don't know. I mean, I can't get inside the head of bad actors as to why they do these types of things. But we do know that there were attempts that the FBI is investigating as it relates to both campaigns, the Harris campaign and the Trump campaign, and no bad actor has yet been identified as being responsible for those cyber intrusions.
And John, all indications are it was a phishing email that led to this hack. Do we know what kind of security measures have been implemented by both the Trump and Harris campaigns to prevent this from happening again?
Well, that's a great question. We don't know that, and I think that there's a reason why we don't know that, because they don't want to give a heads up to any of the bad actors out there that wish to try to do this again. So that is something that would certainly be an internal effort by the Trump campaign to prevent these types of phishing expeditions from yielding anything in the future.
He's the best in the business. White House correspondent, attorney, member of the Supreme Court Bar, John Decker. Charlie Parker next with Those Were the Days, WOAI News Time, 646. Jim, thank you for the Beatles love. Beatles Love, the
Hey.
former show at the Mirage, no longer there. The Mirage is no longer there, or at least not operational. They're going to tear that building down.
Yeah. Hey, Bobby, it's because I'm hiding my track marks on my arms. That's why I'm wearing long sleeves.
Margaret, very funny. It's so hot.
I know.
The trees are whistling for the dogs.
It's actually freezing in the studio, Bobby. That's why.
Frederick Hall says, good
okay.
morning. Yesterday marked the beginning of the Cyber Patriot, let's see, that's 17 competition with both my Medina Valley and Hondo teams. How cool is that, Frederick? Congratulations to you and your teams.
Yes. Congrats.
Lauren Roscoe.
I know.
Everybody. You have talkbacks?
Oh, yes.
Cool.
I do.
Coolio.
I do, Chris. Good morning, Mary Jones Sweet. Mary Jane Sweet.
Mary Jane Sweet to
Mary
you.
Mary Jane. Mary Jo is my friend Victor's wife. Then we call her
And
Mary Jo Sweet.
Mary Jo Kopechne. Let's not
Oh,
forget
there
her.
you go.
Ted Kennedy.
Yeah.
Dirtbag.
Chappaquiddick.
6.
Do. Good morning, Mary Jane. How sweet it is.
Mary Jane, a great song by
Rick James, bitch.
Rick James.
Oh. Gee, Travis, I was serious. It is cold in here. As the older I get, the harder it is for me to stay warm, and it gets freezing in here sometimes.
Yes, it does.
And it's a light shirt that's long sleeve. It's not like I'm wearing a flannel,
Yeah.
people. Come on. Come on. It's all right, man. I keyed. Oh, look, Fortnite. Oh, no,
Hey,
that's Forge of
Mojo Badge.
Empires, yeah. Sorry, it's not Fortnite. It's Forge of Empires. I am so wrong.
I don't get it, man.
I honestly,
It's not my thing.
honestly, dude,
The time that it would take
I
out
just,
of your life.
yeah.
We have a limited time on this earth.
Oh, she saw it. Mary Jane saw the Jupiter and Mars.
Oh, cool, Mary Jane. Yeah, I really enjoyed seeing it. Glad you saw it.
Yeah, and when's Venus and Mars going to be close? Because, you know,
Good question.
come on.
Oh, excuse me.
Saw the school buses in my neighborhood yesterday practicing their runs. I guess Floresville's getting ready to start. And
Oh,
I
yeah?
wonder, why are they coming down my street? There's no kids that live on my street anymore. They're all grown and gone. I guess they just use it as a cut through or something. I don't know, man. Don't get that dress there, Maggie. Did she make that herself? Doesn't look like she made that.
She might have.
Venus Mars, February 2026. Thank you, Travis.
What is that? The next time it happens?
Venus and
Yeah.
Mars.
And 2027 in August over the Nile River in Egypt, total eclipse of the sun.
That's right.
We've got reservations.
But I think you're going anyway, right?
Yeah, we're going anyway, even though we have reservations. Good point.
Yeah. We'll have to play the Paul McCartney album in February of 2026, Venus
cool.
and Mars. Look, even with her hair like that, she looks good. Wow. That water main break just drenching that. Wow.
My goodness.
Wow. Hope nobody left a window open.
Flavor Flav.
Yeah. I thought he was over and done with.
Yeah.
It's like, he's still around?
Yeah, I'm shocked. Yeah, he was on a reality show like 10 years ago.
Yeah, I thought it was over then. Yeah.
Made it.
Yeah, Jim, it does sound biblical, doesn't it? Total eclipse in Egypt.
Yes, right over the Nile River.
It's denial.
Denial. Exactly.
Sorry, but for taco flavors, what? Chucky D. Yeah.
So how many?
And here are some of the stories we're following for you. The U.S. presidential race is heading for North Carolina this week. A new warning about an ultra-violent Venezuelan street gang that's targeting law enforcement. And another names in the race for SA mayor. We'll have details coming up right now, traffic and weather.
Partly cloudy, partly sunny, and hot today, tomorrow, and on Friday. All 3 days, highs of at least 100 degrees. It is 79 degrees in Floresville, Texas, 78 in Castroville, and 78 right here in Stone Oak. WOAI News Time, 6:55.
San Antonio's first news are thanks to Charlie Parker, for those were the days, Charity McCurdy, Mr. T, Tim Merriman, I'm Chris Duell, EJ Pacheco, and Andrew Zimmel, flying the Millennium Falcon. Coming up at 7:10 on a segment we call Wait Till You Hear This, Tim Walz, the Democratic vice presidential candidate, defending his military service record in Los Angeles. Does he have some splaining to do as I channel Ricky Ricardo? Thank you. Charity, do you know who Ricky Ricardo was?
I Love Lucy.
Wow.
Look at that.
Okay.
Way before your time. I guess the reruns.
Yes.
You saw some Lucy
TV
reruns.
Land.
Okay, to be
Yes.
honest, Chris, I never saw it when it was in its original run. It was a little before my time
I
as well.
saw some of the when I was a kid in the '60s. It wasn't I Love Lucy.
It was the
a
Lucy show.
The Lucy show
Yeah.
in color.
Yes.
with her two kids.
In
It
the
was
bank,
post-
she worked at the bank. With,
Yes, with
yeah.
Mr. Mooney.
Thank you.
God, how do I remember that?
Because we're
I have
just
Mr.
weird like that,
Mooney
aren't
in
we?
my head from the '60s. That is frightening. Maybe because of this heat.
That's what
I'm
it
just
is.
delirious. It's so hot outside, Charity. We're asking the people, how hot is it? How do they get in touch with us?
The free iHeart Radio app. You search 1200 WOAI. Look for that red circle. That's the talkback button. Once you hit it, 30 seconds to let us know how hot is it.
Well, it's so hot. This one will explain it all.
Good morning, WOAI First News Morning Crew. According to Chris and Tim, this heat is no comparison to how hot Charity is. Well, everybody stay cool.
Wow. Thank
Now, wait a
you.
minute.
That explains it all.
But why does she, according to Chris and Tim, according to men all over?
Oh, my goodness.
I'm just saying.
She's
and
just
according-
blaming
so
us,
you were
yeah.
partially correct.
Yeah.
Partially correct.
I'm blushing. Another woman made
It's
me
so
blush.
hot that Charity's blushing.
That was very funny. That was very good.
Just made my morning.
Yes.
Mm.
Although you did reveal earlier, Charity, it's so hot you're not even trying to be cute anymore when you go out.
She can't
into
help
the
it. She
heat.
doesn't have to try.
Exactly.
No, I
Yeah.
always have my hair down for the most part, but when I go outside, I'm like, forget it. I don't care that I did my hair. It's going up in a ponytail or bun. I don't want anything touching my neck. It's so hot and humid. It's disgusting.
Same thing we do, right, Chris?
Oh yeah, I put mine up. I got a little man bun. Yes.
You could rock that. I could see it. Yeah.
No man can rock a bun. Let me tell you that right now.
Yeah.
There's
True.
no such thing as rocking a man bun.
Yeah, that's one thing that should be outlawed. The
let's,
man bun.
let's go out to Lavernia.
This is Jimbo from Lavernia again. I have to go back to the favorite show of Good Morning Vietnam. It's hotter than a snake's butt in a wagon rut.
Nice.
Wow.
Robin Williams as Adrian Cronauer,
great.
who was a real DJ
Yes,
in
yes.
Vietnam back in the 60s.
Yeah, it was
Good
a good
Morning
movie,
Vietnam
man.
was such a great.
It was.
So
it
good.
was.
Yeah.
All right, let's check in with Lonnie.
Hey, this is Lonnie. It's hot outside. My air conditioning is out. Went home. There's a bunch of old fat men sitting in towels like it's a sauna. Have a good one.
That's a visual I really didn't need, but okay.
Yeah, why are these old fat men sitting in towels in my living room? Come on. It's not a sauna. It's my house.
Our good friend, the storyteller, checking in.
Well, good morning. It's the storyteller. You know, it's so hot that asphalt must be melting. All the white lines on I-35 seem to be disappearing, being replaced by little black squiggly lines. It's got to be the sun, right? We all have a good day. Tell that old Kemper I'll be in row 18.
At the Barry Manilow concert tomorrow night? Did you hear that, Kemper?
Yes, we know that Kemper will be in row 27 and
He's in
Storyteller row 18.
So we could have another love connection on our hands here.
Storyteller, I trust that you will pay a visit to row 27.
Yes.
And say good evening to Kemper and Jolene.
Jolene. And don't forget Bob and Cindy. And Ted and Alice.
I like where this is going.
You know, and Kemper's is not hard to miss because she is gorgeous.
Yeah,
We've seen
she
her
is.
in
Yes.
person.
Yes.
So.
And storyteller, an author of at least 10 books.
So there you go. This could be a match made in heaven.
Wow.
Or at the
Power of Barry
Copacabana.
Manilow
Wow.
to bring people together.
That is amazing.
Very, very nice. Coming up on Wait Till You Hear This, Tim Walz on his military service record. But right now, Charity McCurdy with everything you need to know in the world, because WOAI News Time is 7 o'clock.
Seven o'clock is our time. San Antonio's first news. Good Wednesday morning. I'm Charity McCurdy. Among our top stories, the race for the White House heads to North Carolina, and another candidate is in the running for SA mayor. Details coming up. First, traffic and weather together every 10 minutes in mornings. Your Weather Channel forecast for this Wednesday, partly cloudy, a high in the upper 90s. Tonight's low near 77. Right now, 80 degrees. Former President Trump will rally in North Carolina this afternoon. Fox's Tanya J. Powers has more on Decision 2024.
Former President Donald Trump is making a campaign stop in Asheville, North Carolina. Today's rally is being held at Harrah's Cherokee Center, the same venue where he spoke in 2016 during his presidential campaign against Hillary Clinton. He's expected to talk about the economy and will be joined by North Carolina Republican Representative Chuck Edwards. While the former president is in North Carolina, his running mate, vice presidential nominee J.D. Vance, is campaigning at a stop near Grand Rapids, Michigan. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
Vice President Kamala Harris will campaign in North Carolina on Friday. The United Auto Workers Union is filing federal labor charges against former President Trump and billionaire Elon Musk. The move comes after Trump and Musk held a 2-hour conversation on X. During the interview, Trump praised Musk, who owns the EV company Tesla, for firing workers who threatened to go on strike. The UAW noted that under federal law, workers cannot be fired for going on strike, and threatening to do so is illegal. The union recently endorsed Kamala Harris for president. One California sheriff is objecting to a new ad that seeks to present Harris as someone who was tough on border security when she was California's AG. Speaking on Fox's Ingram Angle, Tulare County Sheriff Mike Boudreaux, who was seen in the ad standing next to Harris during a press conference on a drug bust, says he trusts former President Trump to be tougher on the border.
What we need to do is make sure that we have a leader who's going to support law enforcement. I couldn't, in good faith, standing there alongside my colleagues, remotely give the implication that we were supporting Kamala Harris.
And this comes as there's a new warning at the border. Rex Oates reports.
Border sheriffs are sounding the alarm about an ultra-violent Venezuelan street gang that's been increasingly causing problems on this side of the border. Members of Tren de Aragua have been given the green light to attack law enforcement.
Everyday Americans will face this wrath when this gang unleashes its potential in our country.
Clint McDonald, who heads the Texas Border Sheriffs Coalition, says members of the gang started showing up at the Texas border in March of last year. Since then, they've been involved in a high-profile crime wave that stretches from Dallas to Miami to New York. I'm Rex Oates, News Radio 1200 WOAI.
Progressive Congresswoman Ilhan Omar is one step closer to keeping her seat in the House as she won her primary in Minnesota.
We know it is joyful to want to live in a peaceful and equitable world.
Meantime, in Texas, local Democratic leaders chose former Houston Mayor Sylvester Turner as the nominee to replace the late Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee on the November ballot. City Councilwoman Adriana Rocha Garcia is in the running for San Antonio Mayor in the 2025 race. Garcia made the announcement yesterday, and she plans to file the paperwork next week. The District 4 representative is the third City Council member to enter the race. And San Antonio City Council gets an update today on a new stadium proposal for the San Antonio Missions baseball team.
Major League Baseball announced new standards for minor league stadiums in 2022, and Nelson Wolff Stadium, where the Missions now play, falls short. MLB wants to see more lockers and bigger facilities for players, as well as more seating, and there's just no room for that in the 30-year-old building. So the ownership group is vying for a new stadium downtown opening in 2028. The estimated cost is reportedly $160 million to be funded by a private-public partnership. Eric Lycum, News Radio 1200 WOAI.
After 2 reports of men approaching or following children in North Dallas and Richardson, the safety of students is on the front burner. Experts say each new school year brings out pedophiles. Former Dallas Schools Police Chief Craig Miller says this is when parents need to talk to their kids.
Anytime someone approaches you and you don't know who those people are and they seem even remotely suspicious to you, parents need to advise their children, don't talk to those people, run away from them, run to a business location, run to, obviously, if there was a police officer or a crossing guard.
Miller says parents should never let children under middle school age walk alone. He says if an adult cannot go along, the child needs to walk with an older sibling or go in a group. And this is exciting. The Paramount Network is coming to San Antonio next month to film a Yellowstone spinoff called 1923. The spinoff is an origin story that stars Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren. The show's second season started production in June and filmed scenes in Austin. Filming in San Antonio will take place on Broadway and on Travis Street in the downtown area. Korea. Prep work starts September 9th, and filming takes place from the 19th to the 27th. It is 7:06, news at the top and bottom of every hour, along with breaking news as it happens. I'm Charity McCurdy, traffic and weather coming up.
San Antonio's first news, a big 7 o'clock hour is upon us. 7:20, Mike Opelka from the Pure Opelka podcast in front of OpelkaCon, which is coming on October 24th. More on that in the coming days. He'll talk to us about the big stories of the morning, his take on all of them. Rory O'Neill, national correspondent at 7:40. The United Auto Workers going after Donald Trump and Elon Musk after their conversation on X that they felt was threatening to employees. We'll get into all of that with Rory. And coming right up in a segment we call Wait Till You Hear This, Democratic vice presidential candidate Tim Walz defending his military service at a gathering in Los Angeles yesterday. But first, your traffic and weather together.
Partly cloudy, partly sunny today, tomorrow, and Friday. All 3 days, it's going to be hot. Highs right around 100 degrees, but it's going to feel hotter. 74 in Kerrville, 80 in Alamo Heights, and 78 right here in Stone Oak. WOAI News Time, 7:10.
San Antonio's first news, that's Mr. T. She's Charity McCurdy. I'm Chris Duell. We are your election 2024 headquarters. And every weekday morning at this time, we span the globe to bring you the constant variety of audio. The audio this morning comes from Los Angeles. It was the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees Convention, and Democratic candidate for Vice President Tim Walz was there. As you may know, he has been criticized by Republicans, specifically J.D. Vance, the Republican candidate for vice president, about his military record. J.D. Vance using the term stolen valor on our segment. Wait till you hear this. This is Tim Walz.
These guys are even attacking me for my record of service. And I just want to say, I'm proud to serve my country, and I always will be. With my dad's encouragement, a guy who served in the Army during the Korean War, I signed up for the Army National Guard 2 days after my 17th birthday. I served for the next 24 years for the same reason all my brothers and sisters in uniform do. We love this country. Then in 2005, I felt the call of duty again, this time of being service to my country in the halls of Congress. My students inspired me to run for that office, and I was proud to make it to Washington. I was a member of the Veterans Affairs Committee and a champion of our men and women in uniform. I'm going to say it again as clearly as I can. I am damn proud of my service to this country. And I firmly believe you should never denigrate another person's service record. To anyone brave enough to put on that uniform for our great country, including my opponent, I just have a few simple words. Thank you for your service and sacrifice. But look, it's not what they've done that we should be concerned with here today. It's what they're going to do.
That is Tim Walz, the Democratic vice presidential candidate, speaking in Los Angeles, defending his military service and charity. We've talked about this, could be some perilous waters that J.D. Vance and the Republicans stepping into because, to criticize military service. Now, granted, there's a soundbite of Tim Walz mischaracterizing his service with regard to carrying a weapon in combat. But in general, as he said, when you denigrate another service member's service, I think you do so at a risk.
Yeah, and the accusation being made by the Trump campaign that Walz specifically left, Army National Guard to run for Congress when he got word that his unit would be deploying, I don't think is going to be a winning issue for Republicans because Walz is saying, he left a month before his unit was deployed. And while they didn't get the orders, I guess there are accusations that there were rumors within the unit that they would be deploying, although they didn't get the official order yet. But again, J.D. Vance did not serve in combat. He didn't see any combat. When you're talking about someone who spent 24 years in the military, I don't think you should try to criticize that.
Now, they're saying that he misspoke when he was talking about the weapon. That's what the actual official thing is. He took the high road by just saying what you should say to somebody who was in service. Thank you for your service and sacrifice.
That was a powerful moment when he says, I say this to my opponent. Therefore, J.D. Vance, thank you for your service.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. It's going to be very fascinating. We're assuming there's going to be a debate between J.D. Vance and Tim Walz. I'm sure this is going to come up. And of course, J.D. Vance served as a Marine. Going to be very, very interesting to see how this is handled in a debate with the two of them facing each other on stage in all probability.
And again, why can't we talk policy? It's all this name calling and comparing crowd size, military record. I don't think this is what the American people really want to hear the debate be about.
No, they want to hear about the issues, about what's going on in this country. What can we change? That's what we want to hear.
Well, that's what we want to hear. But what sticks, and I go back to John Kerry, and there's an operative in the Trump campaign who was there for George W. Bush when they questioned John Kerry's military record in 2004, the whole Swift boating thing.
Yeah.
And stolen valor, that term was used. And it does stick. A lot of people say,
yes.
I heard that John Kerry was not the best when he was over there in Vietnam. So while I agree with the two of you, I do want to hear issues and substance. Sadly, in politics, it is often the slurs that can stick to a candidate. So we will continue to track it. We are your Decision 2024 headquarters. In fact, a big part of that is Mike Opelka from the Pure Opelka podcast. He joins us next with his big take on the morning's big stories. WOAI News Time, 7:15.
And we're back.
Woohoo! Woohoo! Rooster, if you're in here, you were just on the radio. Julie, Eddie, Travis, Trevin, EN. Well, Ian says stolen nomination and stolen valor. Great pair. There you go.
Wow.
That would be a good phrase for the Trump campaign to use.
Oh, they're going at it, aren't they?
I hope that wasn't an Ewald commercial.
No, it was John Wayne. You had one John Wayne, two Ewalds. You got another Ewald coming up. I know.
When I get that feeling, I want sectional healing.
I love it.
It's so hot outside. JD Vance is leaving the couch for the fridge.
That is hot.
I'm
talking
I tell
hot,
ya.
people. See you later, Julie.
See you, Julie. Adios.
Stay cool. Stay cool, everyone. Stay cool.
Stay cool.
Oh, is this about the horses?
Look, could be. Yep.
And apparently I'm not a romantic guy because I've never been in a horse-drawn carriage ride.
I don't think
That's old stuff. Fat Tuesdays is no longer there, man. File footage.
Yeah, exactly. Why don't you get some new footage?
Now, I did take one of the petty taxis, though, over to the Alamo Dome from downtown one time.
Very nice.
That was fun. Poor guy. That's a lot of work. Oh, them were Clydesdales, man. Look, UTSA, UTSA, UTSA.
Woo!
Never mind.
He's using the phone this time?
Yeah.
Is he in an alternate
He must be
location?
away from where he's at. We'll find out. You're just gonna throw it to her, right?
Yep.
Stand by.
Just ahead of headlines, traffic, and weather, then Mike Opelka from the Pure Opelka podcast, his take on the morning's big stories. Speaking of those big stories, Charity McCurdy, which ones are you following?
Well, former President Trump is in North Carolina today, and VP Kamala Harris will be there on Friday. City Councilwoman Adriana Rocha Garcia plans to make a run for San Antonio mayor, and the heat is being blamed for a fish kill at Calaveras Lake. We'll have details right now, traffic and weather.
Partly cloudy, partly sunny, hot today, tomorrow, and on Friday. All 3 days, highs right around 100 degrees. It is 80 degrees in Leon Valley, 76 in Bernie, and 78 right here in Stone Oak. WOAI News Time, 721.
San Antonio's first news. He is the pride of Trinity University. We check in with him every weekday morning at this time. Mike Opelka from the Pure Opelka podcast. He's brought to us by Randy Adams Incorporated. And Mike, one of the many things you do is track multiple polls across the country ahead of this 2024 election in November. What does the latest polling data tell you?
Well, Chris, the national polling still shows a strong floor building under Kamala Harris, but that's national polling. We don't elect a president based on national polls. It's really down to swing states, and we're now starting to see some swing states drifting back towards Donald Trump as we learn more and more about what Kamala Harris really is about or what her policies will be. So it is going to be swing states, and that's why, as you mentioned, or as Charity mentioned, you're going to see North Carolina get a lot of attention. The Democrats think they can flip it. The Republicans need it. So all of these swing states are going to get a whole lot of media money and a whole lot of campaign visits in the next 80 days.
And the economy, a big concern for voters this fall, Mike. And you know, the state of the economy isn't good when Home Depot is sounding the alarm. Apparently, people can't afford home improvements right now.
That's a big concern, Charity. Not just home improvement sales at Home Depot. They also are a big retailer when it comes to appliances. And when you look at both home building and home maintenance and repair, these are huge economic indicators for the long term. And with the warning yesterday, Home Depot sent a shiver through a lot of Democrat plans. This is also mirrored by a Reuters report that says we're at a 40% chance going forward of a recession in America, and that could be starting before the election.
So since we're talking about this economy stuff, what would this no tax on tips actually cost the Treasury? I've heard somewhere $150 to $200 billion over 10 years.
That's what they're saying. But, you know, whenever we hear those numbers, and they always say over 10 years, you always wonder who's doing the counting and what are they basing it on? You know, tip reporting was supposed to be on the honor system, and then we had these 87,000 IRS agents hired to go out and chase waitresses down and see how many tips they brought in each week. This is one of the weirdest things. I never know who to trust on these estimates, even if they tell us it's the bipartisan or unbiased Congressional Budget Office. I just look at those numbers and scratch my head and say, really? Maybe we could spend less and you guys wouldn't have to worry about losing this tip revenue?
Yeah, and Mike, a few minutes ago, we played audio of Tim Walz in Los Angeles yesterday defending his military record. Now, apparently, he's got another issue to explain. That is his affection for a radical imam.
Yeah, this is a guy who is not a good guy. This may be his Reverend Wright moment. And we talked about Kamala Harris has a connection to a preacher who's pretty radical. This imam makes Reverend Wright look like a Boy Scout. This is a bad dude. And Waltz is saying on the video that the Washington Examiner unearthed that he knows a great teacher when he sees one because he's a teacher himself. So I don't know how he's going to get away from this, combined with the stolen valor, combined with, there seems to be a mounting number of criticisms for him and what a control freak he was as governor of Minnesota and continues to be, apparently.
And Mike, I'm all for romantic gestures, but nothing says filthy rich like a giant statue of your wife in your backyard. What was Mark Zuckerberg thinking exactly here?
Well, Zuckerberg's trying to say he's like bringing back the Roman Empire when the Roman leaders, they would honor their spouses, their mates with these statues. I just know if I said to my wife, "Hey, honey, happy birthday. Here's a statue of you in the backyard." She'd go, "No, I'd rather you bought a jewelry store than build a statue to me." You want an example that you have too much money. Mm-hmm. You're able to build a statue of your wife.
But if he really loved her, he'd put it in the front yard. Wouldn't he put it in the front yard if he really loved her?
Maybe. Or does he have Mary in the bathtub? Half a
That's
bathtub.
true. That's true.
The shrines that we see in so many. Yeah, it's just so bizarre to me. Hey, what do I get my wife this year? Oh, I'm going to make a statue of her. At least he didn't do it out of butter and take it to the state fair.
Okay, that would have just been wrong. All right, hey, we're getting a lot of buzz on ApelkaCon coming up in October. We're going to have a meeting about it today. We'll get back to you with some more details, okay?
Very good. I'm all in for bourbon and ballots or pints and politics or tequila, and we'll get into the details.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, all of the above.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm in.
Yes. You can get more Mike Opelka from his Pure Opelka podcast. Get it wherever you get your podcast. We recommend the free iHeartRadio app. Another episode will drop today. You don't want to miss it. Mike is brought to us by Randy Adams Incorporated. Coming up at 7:40, national correspondent Rory O'Neill. The United Auto Workers going after Donald Trump and Elon Musk after their conversation on X the other night. WOAI News Time, 7:27.
And we're back. Thank you for your service, Tim, and anybody else out there who served. Thank you
Absolutely.
very much for your service and sacrifice.
First day of school in the Judson School District.
Judson, isn't that where they got the cement ponds?
I don't know about that.
Oh, yeah. All right. Okay, so Mike's in for this guy named Rich Zioli on Friday. I thought we weren't going to have him, but the guy's not on until in the afternoon. So I was just making sure. We'll be right back.
7:31 is our time. San Antonio's first news. Good Wednesday morning. I'm Charity McCurdy. Among our top stories, economic policy will be the focus of a Trump rally in North Carolina today. And Northside ISD unveils a new fleet of buses equipped with AC. We'll have details, first traffic and weather together every 10 minutes in mornings. Your Weather Channel forecast for this Wednesday, partly cloudy, a high in the upper 90s. Tonight's low near 77. Right now, we're at 80 degrees. Well, former President Trump is holding another rally in North Carolina today where he will deliver remarks on the economy. Fox's Mike Emanuel has more on Decision 2024.
Former President Trump is expected to travel from Florida to Asheville, North Carolina today. His running mate, J.D. Vance, will speak to a rally in Battleground, Michigan in Byron Center in the southwest region of Grand Rapids. Today's focus for the former president will be, of course, on the economy. On the other side, Harris's running mate, Tim Walz, did his first solo event in front of a union audience. Harris has no public events today, and her campaign has taken some heat for her limited activity. Trump and Vance in North Carolina and Michigan expect plenty more of that down the final stretch of this campaign.
And Harris will travel to Raleigh on Friday for her own campaign event where she is expected to outline her own economic policy. Well, voters went to the polls for primaries in Minnesota, Connecticut, and Vermont and Wisconsin yesterday. Fox's Carmen Roberts has the results.
Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, a squad member and sharp critic of Israel, won the Democratic primary in Minnesota.
We know it is joyful to want to live in a peaceful and equitable world.
In U.S. Senate primaries, Democratic Senator Amy Klobuchar easily won renomination in Minnesota and will face Republican and former NBA player Royce White in November. In Connecticut, Republicans chose Matt Corey to run for the Senate. Gerald Malloy got the GOP nod in Vermont. And in Wisconsin, Eric Hovde won the Republican primary. Carmen Roberts, Fox News.
And in Texas, local Democratic leaders chose former Houston Mayor Sylvester Turner as the nominee to replace the late Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee on the November ballot. Delivering remarks at a Biden Cancer Moonshot event in New Orleans, President Biden announced $150 million in awards from the Advanced Research Projects Agency for Health to support 8 teams of researchers nationwide.
The funding we announced today will help get these tools into the operating room to visualize tumors right away instead of having to wait for days and weeks and maybe reopen the patient to go back in. It's a promising step to reduce the need for follow-up surgeries and improve treatments.
The president hopes to move the U.S. closer to the goal of cutting U.S. cancer deaths by 50% over the next 25 years. A Texas Senate committee is instructing 4 major tech firms to produce any documents or records related to potential election interference. The Senate Committee on State Affairs sent the document request to TikTok, the parent companies of Facebook and Google, and X. State Senator Brian Hughes says the request is part of the panel's probe into social media's influence on voter opinion and possible censorship of online speech. The tech firms must comply with the request by the end of the month. Well, San Antonio City Council will get an update today on a new stadium proposal for the San Antonio Missions baseball team.
Major League Baseball announced new standards for minor league stadiums in 2022, and Nelson Wolff Stadium, where the Missions now play, falls short. MLB wants to see more lockers and bigger facilities for players, as well as more seating, and there's just no room for that in the 30-year-old building. So the ownership group is vying for a new stadium downtown opening in 2028. The estimated cost is reportedly $160 million to be funded by a private-public partnership. Eric Lycum, News Radio 1200 WOAI.
Northside's ISD's fleet of school buses are now equipped with air conditioning. The district recently retrofitted 75 of its older buses with AC prior to the start of the new school year, which is set for next Monday. Northside's new superintendent, Dr. John Kraft, found out that the district had buses without AC about a month after he took the job. He initiated the project to get the cool air blowing on the buses. District bond money funded the effort. And the start of school comes as the state's healthcare leaders are dealing with a spike in COVID cases that's exceeding the past 2 summers. Dr. Jason Bowling at UT Health San Antonio says we have not peaked, and he predicts the numbers will rise even more.
Basically gathering a lot of people together indoors, which has less ventilation than outdoors, really high-risk environment for ongoing transmission.
He says it's true that kids are not hit as hard by COVID, but the worry is that they'll bring the virus home to elderly family members who are more vulnerable. After 2 reports of suspicious men harassing children going to school, LP Phillips says now may be a good time to have a talk with your kids about stranger danger.
The children in this week's incidents were either followed by a stranger or the stranger tried to lure the child to their car, but nobody took the bait. The kids either told an adult or ran off. Former Dallas ISD Police Chief Craig Miller is not surprised by what he's seeing.
The start of a new school year brings on a whole lot of new opportunities for people that if they want to do something bad, that they're out there looking to do something bad.
He says children in elementary school should never be allowed to walk or ride their bikes home alone. They need parents, friends, or a sibling. And they need to be warned never to fall for any lines like the person is looking for a puppy and needs help.
It is 7:38. Traffic and weather together in a minute, but first, a check of your money and the world of business. Ed Corey is live at the Bloomberg News Desk. All right, thanks, Ed. News at the top and bottom of every hour, along with breaking news as it happens. I'm Charity McCurdy. Here's traffic and weather.
San Antonio's First News, Charity McCurdy, Mr. T, Tim Merriman. I'm Chris Duell. We are your Decision 2024 headquarters, and a big part of that coverage is national correspondent Rory O'Neill. Rory, you are tracking this story involving the United Auto Workers Union yesterday filing federal labor charges against former President Donald Trump and Tesla CEO Elon Musk over that conversation they had on X the other night. What is this all about?
Yeah, it was an exchange that Donald Trump and Elon Musk had, specifically as it relates to Musk's treatment of the employees at Twitter, now X, after Musk bought that company. Trump said that you walk in, quote, you say you want to quit, they go on strike, you get rid of them, essentially. And the filing by the UAW with the National Labor Relations Board says, hey, look, that's against the law. You can't fire workers who threaten to strike. So that's the complaint. But a lot of this is just nonsense, trying to draw attention to a couple of things. The UAW, led by Shawn Fain, is in support of the Harris ticket. They've already had their endorsement. They don't like Donald Trump. And with this action, they're trying to tag Donald Trump and Elon Musk as being anti-labor. They're also trying to squeeze the Teamsters. Keep in mind, the Teamsters haven't endorsed anybody yet. And last month, the head of the Teamsters, Sean O'Brien, went to the RNC convention in Milwaukee and spoke at that convention. So this is an effort to do a couple of things, namely slap Donald Trump with the label of being anti-labor and force the Teamsters to come out and endorse the Harris-Walz ticket. We'll see if it works.
So what happens if the National Labor Relations Board investigates and finds there were indeed violations?
Well, yeah, probably not going to happen, in that this is all just based on a couple of guys having a conversation that was recorded. The heart of the matter would be that Elon Musk took this action against the Twitter employees when he bought the company. So this would already have been reviewed by the National Labor Relations Board. So there isn't really a whole lot of weight to this UAW filing, but it draws this issue and puts a spotlight on it. Keep in mind, the basic threat or idea is that the rank and file of many of these unions, the UAW and the Teamsters, the members, many of them support Donald Trump. But it's the leadership at the unions that remain in lockstep with the Democratic Party and the Democratic ticket. So there may be a disconnect there between union leaders and union members.
Politics as usual. So what's next in this charges?
Well, and the other note to make here is that this is the United Auto Workers. Elon Musk is the largest automaker without a union population, or there's no unions at Tesla. Oh, and look, this is all happening in Michigan, a key battleground state. So, this is really more about the presidential politics, the electoral map of things. We're going to hear more about the economic plans of both these candidates, Donald Trump in Asheville, North Carolina today, Kamala Harris on Friday, because, in this 3-week-old campaign, we really don't know much about what Kamala Harris wants to do if she's elected for the next 4 years.
Great coverage, as always, from national correspondent Rory O'Neill. And we talked about this earlier on the program, Charity and T. Two guys having a conversation, granted, two very high-profile guys, Donald Trump and Elon Musk, for about an hour and 47 minutes on X 2 nights ago, and to have a court action filed over what the two guys were talking about. I just find that very bizarre.
Yeah. Again, I think this is more about going after Trump and Elon Musk, who's apparently contributing $45 million a month to a super PAC to get Trump elected. So it sounds like more like sour grapes more than anything else.
Yeah, it sounds to me, too, also like the United Auto Workers have like people sitting there listening to this and just taking notes to find them saying something. And I would imagine there's other entities doing the same thing.
Yeah, and Rory did a great job of connecting the dots that, this is all politically motivated. Coming up, yes.
He was very hot on that topic.
Yes, he was very hot. Speaking of hot, more of your talkbacks. How hot is it? And in the 8 o'clock hour, the king of all media, Richard Oliver, will join us in studio.
That's how hot it is.
It's so hot he's getting out of the heat and coming into the meat locker. That is this 41-degree studio.
Warned him.
Yes. Hopefully he brought some layers. Maybe he's got a sweatshirt in his trunk or something. Lots coming up. WOAI News Time, 7:45.
And we're back. I let the sheriff know. We're expecting a guest.
I didn't want the sheriff frisking him or anything.
Well, it's when he, makes him pee in the cup right in his hand.
Yes.
That's a little weird. Go Spurs, go.
So how many talkbacks?
I got two.
Two, and then we'll get to Cowboys.
Yes, Dallas Cowboys worth $160 billion. It's at 10 point. I forget what it was. I got the list. Hang on. I got it right here. $10.32 billion, Chris. Followed by the LA Rams at $7.79 billion. Wow. Okay, dokie. Okay, dokie. I'm sorry, I have three. I have three. I lied. Hi. But they're all pretty short, so
okay,
they'll be fast. 16, 16, and 12.
Tim Sleepy Travis. I'm not saying Sleepy Travis. I'm
Sleepy
saying
Travis.
Tim, comma,
Is that a
Sleepy,
new guy,
comma,
Sleepy Travis?
Travis.
Kama Sutra, what?
Although Travis could be sleepy for all we know. Exactly, Trevin. I am so sick of the Cowboys. I'm a Cowboys fan, have been.
Lifetime.
Since I became conscious of them as a child. They're my favorite team in any sport, but I am so tired of this
the problem
mismanagement.
The problem is they're making money. So as long as they're making money, they're never going to do anything to win.
Yep.
That's the problem. So what I think we should do, and we should start this, buy no more cowboy gear, everybody.
Ever.
Just stop.
Yeah.
And then maybe when they start, their value starts coming down, they go, maybe we need to start winning.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Never happened, but yeah. I agree. It would be nice. It would be so nice. Yeah, no problem. Would be nice, Trevin. Would be very nice. Who's Zombie Star?
Zombie Star.
Does it eat brains like regular zombies? I think Richard Oliver's here.
Really?
No. I don't know why he's running.
The sheriff was in a hurry.
It is Richard Oliver.
Unbelievable.
You can sit in here, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Badges.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
I got time to walk up. No, I got a minute. We just got to throw it to her, right?
Yep.
Okay. Then we can canoodle with Richard. What if he wants anything to drink or anything?
Dana.
Oh, hello. Stand by, Chris.
Now, do we? Just ahead of headlines, traffic, and weather together. And the king of all media is in the building. Richard Oliver. We'll talk to him in the next half hour. But first, Charity, what stories are you following?
Former President Trump hits the campaign trail in North Carolina today. U.S. inflation slowed again in July, paving the way for the Fed to make interest rate cuts. And the Yellowstone spinoff 1923 is set to film in San Antonio next month. We'll have details coming up. Right now, traffic and weather together.
Partly cloudy and sunny today, tomorrow, and Friday. Hot all 3 days. Highs at least 100 all 3 days. 76 degrees in Bernie, 79 at the Snake Farm, 78 right here in Stone Oak. WOAI News Time, 7:52.
San Antonio's first news, Mr. T, Tim Merriman, Charity McCurdy. I'm Chris Duell. He is in the building. He'll join us in the next half hour. Richard Oliver, longtime San Antonio Express News writer in a previous incarnation. You've seen him on Spurs television for many, many, many years. And, of course, all the great work he's doing with the city and its facilities and the Alamo Dome. We've got some big stories to talk about with Richard. At 8:10, national correspondent Aaron Real on the election disinformation that is out there with about 83 days until the 2024 election. And we've been asking the people all morning, how hot is it as we get ready for a string of triple-digit days here in San Antonio and South Texas? Mr. T, what do we got?
We've got a few. Here's Stephanie.
Good morning, Tim, Chris, and Charity. This is Stephanie. We had a good friend of ours that had a little boy, and his saying for the hot summer was, "It's hot like a chicken from hell." You guys have a great day. Stay cool. Bye-bye.
Chicken from hell.
Nothing worse than a chicken from hell.
Especially if it's fried, you know?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Mm.
But I do like a grilled chicken.
It sounds spicy.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is your mic not working?
Yeah, it's not.
Studios of the future. Are all your upper buttons?
Oh.
You want to try this one?
You've been silenced, T. I hate when that happens. Live radio for you.
Wow. We're going to hand Mr. T another microphone and see what happens. You might have to move over a little bit. Look at that.
How about that? Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
Wow.
All right. Wow, that's weird.
See if you're
He's
watching.
back.
If you're watching on the live feed on YouTube, you can
Wow,
see.
that is bizarre. That microphone just quit working.
Mm-hmm. And these are high quality mics, you know. These are the best of the best. I'm serious. These are really good mics.
When they work, they're fantastic.
They really are. They bring out the bass.
When we moved into this building, we joke about it all the time. We were told that these are studios of the future.
Mm-hmm. But they didn't exactly consult with on-air talent before designing the studio. I could use more counter space myself. I don't know about you guys, but
they never do. They never do. All right, here's another one.
Good morning, WAI. Max from San Antonio. Just wanted to say it's hotter than two mice in a wool sock fornicating.
Oh! Okay, that's pretty hot. Oh, look, I got it fixed.
Okay, what did Andrew Zimmel do to fix that microphone?
He did something with geometry. I'm not sure what it was.
He's very technical and talented.
He solved for X and found it, apparently.
The magic touch. Yeah.
All right, here's the last one, and this we're going to go out with a bang here.
Good morning, San Antonio's First News. This is Jim out here in Midland, Texas, and I just wanted to say that it is so hot outside that when Charity walks into a room, people refuse to take their shades off. Love you guys.
Wow.
Thank you.
My goodness. A lot of
She
Charity.
turned red again.
Yes.
I am. It's that hot. I
It
am
is
blushing.
that hot.
Yes.
A lot of charity-related talkbacks today.
Wow.
Very, very nice. I do have to bring this up, and maybe I'll bring this up to Richard Oliver in the next half hour as well. We learned yesterday that my and your favorite football team,
yes,
the Dallas Cowboys, become the first professional sports franchise to be valued over $10 billion, billion with a B, according to Sportico's 2024 NFL rankings. The Cowboys are worth $10.32 billion.
And when was their last championship? 96?
January of 1996.
Almost 30 years ago. Almost.
So what would motivate Jerry Jones to do anything differently when he's making more money than anybody else?
That's the problem. The problem is they're making money, so why do anything to shore up your roster when you're still banking?
It's amazing. It's amazing.
And Cowboy fan, we just keep buying his stuff.
I know.
Buying
I
that
know.
Cowboys merchandise.
Stop.
Buying those tickets. Buying those $25 beers at Jerry World.
Yeah, I have a problem with that.
This may be the year I flip to the Houston Texans.
Wow.
And I'm a lifelong Cowboys fan. Since I was in the womb, I was born the same
a Cowboy
year.
fan.
I was
so
born
yeah.
the same year as the Dallas Cowboys. That's how much of a Cowboys fan I am. All right. Charity has everything you need to know at the top of the hour. Aaron Real on election conspiracy theories at 8:10. Richard Oliver, the king of all media, at 8:20. WOAI News Time 7:57.
And we're back. Yeah, so they can see. Kate, Andrew, can we get the Charlie cam? Thank you. As it's called.
I'll let you see what they're looking at once
Yeah.
he sets that up. We're
Yeah,
on, we do a live stream on YouTube, which is, there you are. No, you're being blocked by Tim.
Oh, sorry, I'll sit down.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
I'll sit down. That's all right. See, I'm trying to get the microphone here. If I bring it down like this, they can see you. Okay.
So what is your official title?
It is
Communications manager.
Director of Communications for the city's convention and sports facilities.
That's
Wow.
It's on the
that
rundown.
too. Yeah, it's a lot
Beautiful. Thank you.
of, the older you get in your career, the longer the title
Yeah.
gets.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
So
they're only expecting 34 or 35,000 people. So they're
Might
not
be-
opening the whole
could be
dome,
over
right?
40. It probably could be over 40.
They're not going to
Just
open
being
the whole.
conservative.
They're not going to open the whole dome. Then it'll be like the old Spurs.
It also always depends on where the stage is.
Okay, because I saw that when they were in Dallas at Jerry World, they were only using half of it, like they used to do for Spurs here.
Yeah.
So I imagine that's how it's going to be
Yeah.
here.
40,000 is a pretty good crowd.
Oh no, it's a hell of a crowd,
For-
but it could
Yeah.
be 65,000.
yeah.
You
used
know,
to be. God.
like when it for
as long as those guys from Journey are getting along.
well, they're going to finish
That's
out
right.
this
When
part
I
of
heard
the
they were
tour.
canceling those other European dates, I thought, is that going to affect?
No, see, actually, it would be
No.
kind of cool if they got in a fist fight on the stage,
Yeah,
man.
worked for the Eagles all
Hell
these
yeah,
years.
that'd be great. It'd be
Except for they
fantastic.
brought in Vince Gill, and they were now
Yeah.
they're all
Yes.
nice now. That kind of stuff.
Well, but Don Henley will still sue you at the drop of a hat.
He will. He will.
He's
You
probably
gotta
going
be-
to sue me for
gotta be
saying
good at
that.
something,
He's
Tim.
going to sue me for saying that. I guarantee it, man. I guarantee it. Guarantee it. So, how are things?
It's great, man. It's great. Things are going well. Personally, professionally, I'm really blessed.
Yeah, I see all over Instagram, man. I mean, you're always doing something.
It's important that everyone knows where I am at all times.
Exactly. We
Yeah.
must know that.
Because sometimes I don't know where I am, so that way it's like breadcrumbs,
Yes.
online breadcrumbs.
So how'd you celebrate your birthday? Any
did you do anything
special?
5 grandkids,
Yeah.
swimming pool. Yeah, we
Yeah,
went-
that's about enough, isn't it?
that we saw Sebastian Maniscalco.
Oh, did you? How was he? How was he?
Great.
He's
was great.
a
And
funny
Pat
dude.
Pat McGann opened up for him, and he was outstanding. So hilarious.
It looked like a good crowd, man.
It was a good crowd. I mean, for
I was
you know,
surprised he's playing the Frost Bank Center. I mean,
and he was right in the middle.
I like
put
the middle.
Stage right in the middle.
I like the
So,
middle.
Yes.
he was
That's
in
so
the
cool.
round. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was a lot of fun.
When I saw John Denver at the Convention Center Arena, that's how he was in the center, and it revolved a little, very slowly.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's cool, man, because you
I
get to see.
remember when George Strait played at the
Yeah, at the Alamo Dome.
SBC Center.
the
But I remember
Alamo
the
Dome,
SBC
too, he was in
Center
the
way
middle,
back in
too.
the day. It was in the round.
Yeah,
He's kind of moved up from that.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
King
Yeah.
George now, so yes.
Well, did he have the Aggie? Who set the record? At,
Yeah, Kyle Field. Yeah,
Yeah, he did. He did. Yeah.
104,000.
Yeah,
something?
it was like a lot of people.
Yeah. Were you there as an
No,
Aggie?
No,
Yeah, I thought you
no,
would be, man.
No,
Because the road goes on
I
forever.
love George Strait, but 115 degrees and
8 o'clock is our time. San
I have my
Antonio's
limit.
first
This will
news.
be the
Good
first time
Wednesday
I've been
morning.
to a
I'm
big
Charity
show
McCurdy.
since
Among our
prior
top
to the
stories,
pandemic.
the race for the White House heads to North Carolina,
Def Leppard
and
is
another
the,
candidate is
I
in the
know, I
running
know, I
for
saw that
SA
'cause I was-
mayor. Details coming up.
Okay.
First, traffic
Kind of
and
swap
weather
around.
together
Well,
every
but
10
what I've
minutes.
understood and
mornings.
what I've read is it's been Def Leppard closing the show. They're doing about the exact same length and sets, but it's been Def Leppard closing the show because I think their show is a little bit more, pyrotechnic and stuff involved that it would take too long to change over the stage.
Should be.
You want a water? I don't know what our
I'm fine.
situation.
No, I'm
We
fine.
have
I just
anything
had
and
a
everything you want,
big- Had a
man.
big thing of.
What's a whiskey,
Coffee.
beer? We got all that too.
I suspected that was happening. around here, but,
On Fridays usually.
It does happen occasionally.
this is radio.
Yes.
Yeah.
Your
you
weather
think
channel
gravity
forecast
voice.
for this Wednesday.
Yes.
Partly
Well, I
cloudy,
know I
a high
quit
in the
smoking,
upper
so that's
90s.
that.
Tonight's
I
low
don't
near
have that going
77.
anymore, so-
Get a move
Yeah,
on.
so I
It
don't-
is
yeah.
80
Raspy,
I
degrees.
don't cough as much as usual. Yeah.
Well, this afternoon, former President Trump will rally in North Carolina. Fox's Tanya J. Powers has more on Decision 2024.
Former President Donald Trump is making a campaign stop in Asheville, North Carolina. Today's rally is being held at Harrah's Cherokee Center, the same venue where he spoke in 2016 during his presidential campaign against Hillary Clinton. He's expected to talk about the economy and will be joined by North Carolina Republican Representative Chuck Edwards. While the former president is in North Carolina, his running mate, Vice Presidential nominee J.D. Vance, is campaigning at a stop near Grand Rapids, Michigan. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
Meantime, Vice President Kamala Harris will campaign in North Carolina on Friday. The United Auto Workers
Michael
say
Board with
both
the news.
Trump and Tesla chief Elon Musk violated federal
wanted to
labor
do that.
law by discussing firing workers during Monday night's live stream conversation on X. Here's Fox's Evan Brown.
The UAW is now
Amen to
filing
that.
complaints with the National Labor Relations Board over comments shared between
my God.
Elon Musk and former President Trump during
my
their live
God.
talk on the X app Monday night.
Yeah.
The former president
High school
mentioned
will be
something
around the
about an
corner.
unnamed
Yep.
company
College.
dismissing striking workers,
No,
which
it's
the
not.
Auto
And
Workers
9
Union
years
claims
Yeah.
is illegal to
Went
do.
and out with
And
her.
the former president
Yes,
and Musk's
yes, yes,
comments
yes, yes.
were tantamount
we'll try to go
threats against
fast with this
workers.
guest so we can get to your-
Meanwhile, about
Not a whole lot to
2,400
do with her
UAW
anyway,
members could be
but,
losing their
I've got
jobs
a
at
strange question
Chrysler-owned
for you. What does it
Stellantis
take to get a
in Warren,
convention
Michigan,
in San
due to
Antonio?
the
How does that
production
process work?
of a series of Dodge Ram pickup trucks.
Well, convention
Evan Brown,
alone,
Fox
but
One California sheriff is objecting
Right.
to a new ad that seeks to present
are the
Harris
ones
as
that would
someone
do
who
it.
was tough
So
on
would
border
it ever
security
be a
when she was
possibility
California's
to us to
AG.
maybe go out
Speaking
and get
to
a
Fox's Laura
Republican
Ingram,
National Convention,
Tulare
a
County
Democratic
Sheriff
National
Mike
Convention?
Burrow, who was seen in the
I know.
ad standing next to Kamala Harris during a press conference on
Yeah.
a drug bust, says he
Or
trusts
how about a
Trump to be
debate?
tougher on the
I mean, you know,
border.
that
What
could
we
be
need
something
to
we
do
could
is
as
make
well.
sure
We're just
that we
gonna-
have leaders going to support law
Yeah, I know.
enforcement. I couldn't, in good
Yeah.
faith, standing there alongside my colleagues, remotely
It'll be
give
something
the
we talk about
implication
just so
that
you
we
know,
were supporting Kamala Harris.
kind of
Meantime, there's a
appease
new warning
everybody,
about an
so to speak.
ultra-violent Venezuelan street
No,
gang that has
no. All
increasingly
you have
been
to do is,
causing
you know,
problems
hey,
on the side
look,
of the
we
border.
house the
A group
conventions,
of
but the
sheriffs
city,
from
you
across
know,
the country
what
say
is
that
it,
members of Tren de
Visit San
Aragua
Antonio
have
would be
been
the one.
given the
That's all you
green
gotta say.
light to
That's
attack
all you gotta
law
say. We got every,
enforcement.
yeah, everybody's
word
covered.
of the
That's where you
word
used to work,
coming
right?
from all these
Yeah, okay.
countries invading our
All right,
southern
so now we've
border,
got UTSA
and
coming
we are
up. We've got what
absolutely
else? Come on,
not
Richard, give us.
doing anything about it.
Clint McDonald
I will
with
be
the
there.
Texas Border Sheriff's Coalition says members of the gang started showing up at the Texas border last
Yes.
year. U.S. warships are moving closer to Israel amid threats from Iran. Here's Fox's Jared Halpern.
The USS Abraham
That'll be
Lincoln
packed.
carrier strike group
That'll
is
be
accelerating
packed.
Is that
towards
what you're
the Middle
expecting, that
East,
it'll be
where it is
packed?
likely
Oh, I
to
guarantee
join
it'll
the
be
strike
packed.
group
Okay.
already
It's
deployed in the
soccer.
region.
It's,
We're
and I
not
guarantee
seeking
they'll come up from the
conflict. We don't
valley. I
want
mean,
conflict.
seriously.
But we're going to do what
Oh,
we
they'll
need to
get
do
more.
to
I'm
support the
telling you,
defense of
man.
Israel and support the protection of our forces.
I know.
Pentagon
I know.
spokesman Major General Pat Ryder says the U.S.
So
is
where are you
prepared
sitting
to
for Barry
respond
tomorrow?
to any contingency that does not detail what a U.S. response may look like if Iran,
That's
or
so
one
Man,
of
cool.
its
my buddy
proxy
went.
groups,
Said it was
launches an attack
fantastic.
against
Yeah.
Israel.
He showed me some
Iranian
pictures
leaders
where,
are vowing
where he
retaliation
put the
for
65
assassination
albums
of
that he's
senior
done up on the
Hamas
screen, then
leader
you
in
just
Tehran,
yell out
they
one
say
and
was
he'd do a
carried
song
out
from
by
it.
Israel at the White House. Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Progressive Congresswoman Ilhan Omar is one
Last
step
time I saw
closer to
Barry,
keeping
it
her
was a
seat in the House as she won her primary in Minnesota.
We know it is joyful to want to live
If it were a
in
weekend night
peaceful and
with these
equitable
hours, we get up at
world.
1:30
Meantime, in
the morning.
Texas, local Democratic leaders chose former Houston
I
Mayor
used to be
Sylvester
that way.
Turner as the nominee
I don't
to
get those
replace the
Charlie
late
Parker,
Congresswoman Sheila
benefits.
It used to
Jackson Lee
be
on the
that
November
way,
ballot.
but
And
not
another
anymore.
San Antonio City
I'm
Council
still sitting on
member
a
is
week I
tossing a
gotta
hat in
use,
the ring
and
for
I don't know
Mayor
when.
Ron
I have a
Nierenberg's
week
job.
left.
While District
of
4
vacation,
Council member
man.
Adriana
I
Rocha
said I'd give
Garcia
Chris
is
some if
not
he
the
needed it,
first
and they
from
won't let me
San
do that
Antonio
either.
City Council to announce a run for mayor. She
Like,
is
dude,
the
if you
first
need a day,
woman
I'll
to
give you
do
one.
so in a crowded
Yeah.
field that includes her
Sure.
colleagues John Courage
Well, if
and
they
Manny
pay me
Pelaez.
for them, I'd sell them back
Rocha
to them.
Garcia chairs the
You know, because
Planning
right now
and
we're
Community
heading towards the
Development
election, and
Committee
there's not a whole lot of
and
time I
sits
can
on
take
several
off. So,
others. She's
hell,
an
I'd sell it
associate
back to them, but they
marketing
won't do that,
professor
so I
at
have
Our
to
Lady
take
of
them.
Lake University.
And I will. I
Tech
will not
entrepreneur
cheat out of my
Beto
vacation.
Altamirano is also running for Nierenberg's term limited office. Voters decide May
Oh,
3rd
man.
of next year.
So are you happy
Like
that the
News Radio
Longhorns and the
1200
Aggies are
WOAI.
reunited?
The Department of
I
Defense
am.
Warrior Games
I
are coming
am.
to San Antonio
so
in
happy.
2026 and
Get that
2028.
rivalry
It'll be the
back, man.
first time for the city to host the Warrior Games.
See, okay,
the event
there's a lot of
features
people saying
hundreds
that.
of wounded
You know, our
and injured
boss
veterans
says it's gonna
and
be
military service members
UT
who compete in wheelchair
Georgia
basketball,
in the,
cycling,
SEC
indoor
championship.
rowing,
That's what they're
city
saying.
volleyball, and other games as part
But not
of their
in the SEC
recovery.
championship they
It
won't.
is
They're in the
8:06
Big Ten,
news at the
so
top
yeah.
and bottom
Now, in
of
the
every hour,
playoffs-
along with breaking news as it happens.
Well,
I'm
that's
Charity
the other thing, you know,
McCurdy.
everybody
Traffic
counting
and
them out
weather
because Nick
coming up.
Saban's not there anymore.
Mississippi's going to be
Mississippi's going to be Ole Miss is going to be really good. Aren't they still in trouble there?
probably.
I think they are recruiting something to do with recruiting.
Listen, you're not cheating enough.
Yeah. Well, now it's legal. It's legal cheating now. No more the paper bags full of money. No, you just go straight to your account in the NIL. Still waiting on it,
Not in
Okay.
my lifetime.
but we're going to be a little early. So you've been over here before, yeah. You've been over here before, yeah. Well, you're the one. Kidding, it's a beautiful place. I love it.
I miss the asbestos in the walls, and yeah,
I missed
Where the
it.
Husky Boys came from.
yeah.
Well, and I miss the homeless people harassing me on my way in. That was always fun.
Cold atmosphere.
Yeah. The people walking up to the back door at 4:00 in the morning wanting to know where their tickets are. That always bothered me too, because the gate never worked. You know, yeah. We put this gate up, but unfortunately, it's never going to work. You have a volume control right underneath you down there. Good? Cool. Life is always good when Richard Oliver's here.
Mm-hmm.
Hanging out with you guys.
Look, Richard Oliver shows up. Now we got 28 people watching us. Yeah. Before that, nothing.
He's a draw. Nothing for us.
Yeah. Chop liver here.
Yeah, we're forming a rock band called Chop Liver. We're gonna
Actually, say hi, Charity. Goodbye.
San Antonio's first news. Charity McCurdy, Mr. T, Tim Merriman. I am Chris Duell in studio. Joining us at 8:20, the Director of Communications for San Antonio's Convention and Sports Facilities, our good friend Richard Oliver. But coming right up, we'll check in with national correspondent Erin Real. She is tracking a story on how political pressure, conspiracy theories, and outright threats are making the jobs of county clerks and secretaries of state difficult with this 2024 election coming up in about 83 days. That's coming right up, but first, your traffic and weather together.
Lots of sun, a few clouds today, tomorrow, and on Friday. Hot all 3 days. Highs right around 100 degrees. 78 degrees in New Braunfels, 80 in Alamo Heights. 78 right here in Stone Oak. WOAI News Time, 8:10.
San Antonio's First News. We are your Decision 2024 headquarters and someone who covers so many big stories involving this upcoming election is national correspondent Aaron Real. And Aaron, it's crazy out there. And certainly if you're a county clerk or a secretary of state getting ready for this election, a lot of things you have to contend with. Tell us about it.
A lot of things, and it's only getting scarier. And whether it be the advent of social media or actually the complete breakdown in trust of traditional media, the fact of the matter is we're now seeing election officials getting it rough. They've been flooded with really inane demands, things like details about their employees, and they're faced with harassment campaigns. There's intimidating letters. They've even had letters laced with fentanyl. They've been the subject of threats, bombings, break-ins. It's incredible. And basically their job description has extended significantly beyond the get out the voting equipment every couple of years. It's now a much longer and more sustained process. And really they have to make an effort to get the trust of the people and the public in order for them to come out to the polls.
So, Aaron, what, if anything, is being done at the federal level to try and tackle this growing problem?
It's a great question. Nothing really at the federal level yet, other than, misinformation considerations in terms of Congress and stuff, different legislation being passed here and there. But if you look at this, it's a money thing. The resistance from state legislatures that has really tied up funding for various states that would have protected election administrators and supported their efforts against conspiracy theories. Those dollars are, drying up. Also, deep fakes and AI, that's probably moving forward what we're going to spend a lot of time on. We don't yet know what the October surprise is. I feel like we've had 6 October surprises already, but is there going to be a huge deep fake? You can fight AI with AI, but it doesn't mean that, people are more secure in the information they're seeing.
Now, you would think with elections being as just important as they are, there would be protection for them. Are they having a hard time getting these jobs filled with all these, pressures and outright threats?
Yes, people are resigning. They're retiring. And again, this is kind of like a thankless job, and you did it because it was your civic duty. I'm talking about the volunteers, too, on actual election day. So how that plays out is another question that needs to be answered. But no one is we haven't heard of any municipalities saying that they have no one to man the polls. That isn't the case yet. But it is certainly not. Listen, most people don't have a tremendous amount of enthusiasm or time to do it in the first place. And then those who did were doing their civic duty in many ways. And to see people just be like, I can't deal with a reasonably so bomb threat that might, it's going to be harder to fill these roles ultimately.
My goodness. Great reporting from national correspondent Aaron Real. As we roll forward, you know him from Spurs telecasts and the Express News, and we know him as the king of all media. He is Richard Oliver in studio next. WOAI News Time, 8:14.
And we're back. Okay.
I couldn't, speaking of the Express News, it's like every time it's such a dwindling of,
oh my God.
Gilbert Garcia just left. I mean, so many great people over the years who were such a big part of it. It's
Amen.
like, I don't even know, who.
When I was sports editor early 2000s, I had 45 people on my
Damn,
sports staff.
really?
Wow. On the sports staff.
An outdoors.
Oh, yeah.
We had
Yeah.
high school team, David Flores,
Yeah.
John Hines, all those guys. We had our Spurs coverage team.
Mhm.
We had, so we had all that. Plus, we had a desk.
Yeah.
You did all the editing and design and everything like that.
Yeah.
They don't have that anymore.
My
They
goodness.
don't have
It's
45 people on the whole page.
no.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Well, we lost our board op now works for Express News, Jeremy Kolak.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he went over there.
To do
Online editor. Yeah.
They get pretty good traffic on their online.
Yeah.
Except for, my God,
Typical online stuff.
Well, it's one of the hardest websites to navigate out there, man. Yes. And way
we
behind.
noticed when that Sean Elliott story about the AFib happened, it took them, we had it the next morning because we saw it on Instagram from Sean. Took them 2 days to get it
up there
on their website. And it was a big local guy, Sean Elliott.
Guys, I'm just so used to getting my coffee.
Yeah.
Oh, God, yes.
I miss that, man. I miss that, man. And now if you get one, have you seen them now? There's nothing to it. The Sunday paper. I know. At least, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't bought a paper in years, man.
What is the best thing in the paper?
For me,
Just the best writing and the best stories in the paper.
sports. Obituaries were very well done.
Every
See,
Sunday, I would read. The
Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife would go, "What?" I said, "Listen to this."
Yeah.
So and so.
Oh, yeah.
Star General.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stormed the beach in
Yep.
Normandy.
Yep.
Lived out at Air Force Village.
It's amazing.
Air
people
Force
who
Village,
live
man.
in this
I grew up-
community
I
that
grew
you
up-
didn't realize.
I grew up by Air Force Village. AFV, baby. Yeah, we used to go out. We used to go out there.
Their sides.
Yeah, AFV. We used to go out there, and they had a little pond next to it. And when they first opened it up, you used to be able to go out there and go fish and stuff, man. And one good friend of mine got bit by a water moccasin. We were out there. Luckily, he lived like maybe I don't know half a mile from there, and we're carrying him to his house, man. Foot's just swelling up like, oh, it was awful. It was awful. But yeah, then they put a fence around it. Then they put a fence around it. They put a fence around it, and we can no longer do it. Yeah, I know. Yeah, a lot of people don't know this, but there was a guy shooting people from the top of that thing a long time ago. When they first opened up, he opened fire. Luckily, he just winged a couple people. He never really killed anybody, but yeah, it was not good. Yeah. I grew up over there, man. I remember all that. I remember it. Okay. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Different.
Oh, yeah. Good times. All right, just going to throw it to her?
Yes.
Okay. Stand by.
Just ahead of headlines, traffic and weather together. And if it's a sporting event, a concert, a convention, Richard Oliver knows all about it in the city of San Antonio. He joins us in studio in a flash. But first, Charity, what stories are you tracking?
Well, North Carolina will see both Donald Trump and Kamala Harris this week. A third city council member is entering the race for San Antonio mayor. And stranger danger is a big concern as the new school year begins. We'll have the latest coming up. Right now, traffic and weather together.
Lots of sunshine, a few clouds today, tomorrow, and on Friday. All 3 days, it's going to be hot. Highs 100 or hotter. It is 74 degrees in Kerrville, 80 down at the Pearl, and 78 right here in Stone Oak. WOAI News Time, 8:19.
San Antonio's first news. He's been a part of this city for decades and decades. One incarnation at the San Antonio Express News. You've seen him on Spurs broadcasts with his Aggie friend, Andrew Monaco. And current incarnation among the many things he does, he is the director of communications for San Antonio's convention and sports facilities. The king of all media, Richard Oliver. Great to have you in studio.
So glad to be here, man. Whenever I get a chance to, people don't realize, because this is radio, they don't realize how beautiful you guys are, all of you. And by all of you, I mean Charity.
Yeah.
Just thought I'd bring that up.
We're used to that
You're
by
so
now.
kind.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just call us chopped liver.
Yes.
Chopped liver.
Come for the chopped liver, stay for the eye candy.
Exactly.
Pretty much our mantra.
And this is why I walked across the building to give Richard Oliver a hug this morning. So, yes.
I have been on this show for over 2 years now. That is the first time. We've had many guests in studio.
Well,
You are the only one. Charity will go across the building and give you a hug. That's pretty
See, and I've been doing it almost 20, and that's the first time.
listen, I will accept this with gratitude. I'm just fine with this.
Well, I'm pumped. Def Leppard, Journey, and Steve Miller Band all in one place. Richard, which one are you most excited about? Tell us.
For me, I love the old Journey.
Right.
With Stephen Perry.
Oh, gosh.
And I hate to do that because I think the new lead singer's been there longer than Stephen Perry was.
And he's pretty good.
And he's really good.
Yes.
Yeah, and he's great. And I've never seen, and we've all gone to a lot of shows. I've never seen the Steve Miller Band. So I'm kind of looking forward to that because but Def Leppard to me, that's the soundtrack of my.
Oh gosh, yes. Now I saw Steve Miller Band at the Sunken Garden Theater years ago, and it was really good. I mean, it's just fun.
We
It's
know that
just fun.
Steve Miller Band probably is the same guy.
Yes.
I'm guessing Steve Miller Band is
Can't get a new front man.
Yeah, I'm guessing
No,
Steve Miller's
he's the
still
only
around.
one that stays the same.
Absolutely. No, we're really looking forward to that. It's going to be a great show. Got a great crowd. We encourage everybody to get there early, as we always do when we have a big event at the Alamo Dome.
So
because,
when you say get there early, well, parking, can you get down and tailgate like at say 10, 11 in the
well,
morning?
about 3, 4 o'clock, we'll have, of course, that the HEB Plaza will be open. They'll have drinks and food and merchandise and that kind of stuff. So a lot of people come early and just kind of mill around and have some fellowship down there. And then they open the doors around 4 o'clock. They'll be
4
open.
o'clock.
Concerts at 6.
Yeah, I love
keep
that.
in mind, there's 3 big acts. So the concert starts at
Scheduled
6.
concert start time 6 o'clock. So
6
it's
o'clock.
scheduled at 6.
Yeah.
So we know that means about 6:15 maybe.
Well, you know how that works.
I know how rock stars are.
Listen,
yes.
they're all my age, so I think they start on time.
So they want to be home by 9. Is that what you're saying?
We don't want to be out after a certain time. But we know I've seen these guys have come through before. We know they're going to put on a good show, and they've had plenty of practice over the years. So we know it's going to be a great show.
Yeah, years ago I saw Def Leppard with Heart, and that was an amazing show. And there was a lot of pyrotechnics with Def Leppard. It's like once they hit those high notes, that's when they fire the pyrotechnics. I wonder if we're going to see that again this year.
Yeah, and of course, you get a certain age, you hit the high notes. Fire up the pyrotechnics because I can't hit the high note. They didn't distract everybody. Throw some fireworks in there. We need some help here.
And I know a lot of people take advantage of Via Park and Ride. It's a great way to get to and from a concert at the Alamo Dome, especially if there's going to be a big crowd down there.
Yeah, and we got actually a new announcement this week that's going to be coming out. I'll break it right here.
Oh, beautiful! Thank you.
We have an agreement that we've starting with this concert with Flash Parking, where
Which
you
is
can now
what?
you can now reserve your parking in one of the lots or the garages downtown that Flash Parking has contracted.
Cool.
So you can do that online. Now you've seen that at other cities. I went to an Astros game a couple of weeks ago. I bought my parking early. I knew what garage I was going to go to, the Fannin Street garage in Houston, and drove and got it. So that's a peace of mind thing, is to be able to get online. It's a little bit of an upsell. Hey, how about you want to reserve your parking as well? So now we have that. The whole idea is that we're trying to make the ease of access downtown for everybody going to these shows, because we have a lot of big traffic shows coming up. And in downtown San Antonio, that means you got to go get there early and find your parking. And we always tell everybody, hey, get downtown, enjoy the Riverwalk, have dinner, make your life easier by get on down there, because obviously parking and transportation traffic can be an issue.
And you can reach this through alamodome.com?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Get on the concert link to the concert. It'll say transportation and parking.
And you mentioned big shows, Richard. What other shows are on the calendar for the Alamo Dome this year?
Yeah, and it's just not just shows, Charity. It's obviously events. You talk about Decision 2024. We talk about the Alamo Dome probably being the most diverse facility in the country. And you go all the way back to May, 33 high school and college graduations. Go back to Luke Combs a couple of nights. And then, of course, coming up, Charity, we got now, Chris talked about it. Chris actually helped us announce this at the Alamo Dome, October 12th, big international soccer game.
Huge.
That's going to be coming up. We've got October 25th, Sting and Billy Joel coming in there. Get a little bit earlier, August 31st, UTSA kicks off their season. They're going to be very good this year.
Yes.
So we got UTSA football. Those are great crowds. You've got we've even got high school football. We've got, you cross the board and just teasing. This is just teasing.
Here we go. Okay.
We got some good announcements coming up. We got 2025 is going to be a lot of fun.
So like what, Richard?
It's okay. I'm going to tell you, Tim, just because I love you so much.
Just me, yeah.
It's going to be music.
Okay.
All right.
We
It's
like
gonna be
that.
music. Yeah.
So you won't hear that anywhere else. But
Sometimes,
right here,
and
yes.
sometimes the music may be loud.
Oh, I like loud
All
music.
right,
I'm
that's
a
all
big
I can
fan.
tell
Very
you.
nice.
That's all I can tell you.
Big fan.
But you're the only one I've told that,
Okay,
by the way.
good.
So
Good.
don't
Don't tell
around.
anybody.
Have you been in touch with the Eagles? I've been trying to get the Eagles.
You and I
Yes.
would be just banging on the door to get those guys here. Yeah. Anytime the Eagles come anywhere close to San Antonio, we're on the phone trying to get that happen.
Yeah, I saw them at the Moody Center in Austin in February. They're now at the Sphere for an extended stay.
That would be awesome.
When you see a big act like the Eagles or Taylor Swift go to either Houston or Austin or Dallas, do you get on the phone personally, Richard Oliver, and say, "Hey, Tay, we're not chopped
We
liver
got
over
stuff
here.
happening
Come on."
here. The Moody Center, that little bitty place.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a big old Alamo Dome.
That's the deal. The Alamo, we got a big giant place. No, listen, we try everything we try, but keep in mind, and again, it's a little more of an excuse than I mean it to be, but it's honest. We have tenants at the Alamo Dome. I mean, when you talk about UFL football,
Yes.
Valero Alamo Bowl, the little thing called the Final Four next spring.
That's
I mean,
right.
That's going to take a few days. UTSA football, Disney on Ice. We have things that come through every year. And when you think about event dates during the year at the Alamo Dome, the great thing is it's a diverse, great location for anything that comes through. The bad thing is it's a diverse, great location for everything that comes through. So you have UTSA
Demand,
football.
yes.
And it's not, UTSA, it's not like a matter of UTSA football. Hey, we're going to open the door on Saturday afternoon at 2, we're going to play, we're going to close the door at 7 o'clock and clean up. It takes, they have it for 2 or 3 days, and to get everything together that they want. So the Alamo Dome has a lot of great stuff happening. AlamoDome.com. Get on there and you'll see. And I'm telling you, music, loud, coming up.
We
in
like
2025.
loud and we like music.
And as it happens, we hope you'll come back and maybe give us the scoop.
Anytime.
We would love it.
Will Charity be here? Yeah,
Yes,
I'll come back. Yeah,
just
I'll
for
come
you.
back. I'll
Yes.
come back.
We'll make sure she's here.
I'll be here.
He is one of our favorite guys in town, Richard Oliver, Director of Communications, Convention and Sports Facilities.
You going to stick around for a minute?
I will. Love
Okay.
to.
Because I've got some more questions on, after
More
Charity
with
does her
Richard
job.
Oliver.
Yes.
Oh, good. Well, stick around. And that's like when Carson would ask you to
Yes.
stick around for another segment. Very cool. Charity coming up at the bottom of the hour with everything you need to know. Joe Pags with a preview of the Joe Pags Show at 8:40. WOAI News Time, 8:27. Sure.
And we're back. I just like saying that. See, that's what everybody's seeing right now is what that up there. That's what they're seeing. Yep. Yeah, so, I mean, we're talking big stuff coming, huh? That's what I figured.
Wait, we're,
yeah, hang
these
on.
are hot.
8:32 is our time. San Antonio's first news. Good Wednesday morning. I'm Charity McCurdy. Among our top stories, economic policy will be the focus of a Trump rally in North Carolina, and Northside ISD unveils its new fleet of buses equipped with AC. We'll have details, first traffic and weather together every 10 minutes in mornings. Your Weather Channel forecast for this Wednesday, partly cloudy, a high in the upper 90s. Tonight's low near 77. Right now, 81 degrees. Well, former President Trump is holding another rally in North Carolina today where he will deliver remarks on the economy. Fox's Mike Emanuel has more on Decision 2024.
Former President Trump's expected to travel from Florida to Asheville, North Carolina today. His running mate, J.D. Vance, will speak to a rally in Battleground, Michigan in Byron Center in the southwest region of Grand Rapids. Today's focus for the former president will be, of course, on the economy. On the other side, Harris's running mate, Tim Walz, did his first solo event in front of a union audience. Harris has no public events today, and her campaign has taken some heat for her limited activity. Trump and Vance in North Carolina and Michigan expect plenty more of that down the final stretch of this campaign.
And Vice President Harris will travel to Raleigh, North Carolina on Friday for her own campaign event where she is expected to outline her own economic policy. Delivering remarks at a Biden Cancer Moonshot event in New Orleans, President Biden announced $150 million in awards from the Advanced Research Projects Agency for Health to support 8 teams of researchers nationwide.
The funding we announced today will help get these tools into the operating room to visualize tumors right away instead of having to wait for days and weeks and maybe reopen the patient to go back in. It's a promising step to reduce the need for follow-up surgeries and improve treatments.
The president hopes to move the U.S. closer to the goal of cutting U.S. cancer deaths by
in the dome. Richard, will they? Richard says he doesn't have any idea in case you didn't hear him.
That one I don't know.
I mean, they have pop-up stuff, don't they?
They do have pop-up.
Yeah, so I mean, because I don't
it's
think
an interesting question because my wife and I went to Academy and Walmart PSA gear a couple of years ago now.
Yeah.
it's still
That's
hard
amazing.
to find.
Yeah.
It's still hard
I would expect, yeah.
unless
Those are
unless
walking billboards.
yeah, unless you're a baby, because you can go into Target and get a UTSA baby onesie, but you can't get a decent T-shirts or
I can't fit
I tried. It wasn't pretty.
Yeah.
I'm just saying right now. And I left it in the fitting room because I don't think anybody else wants it.
What about shoes?
That's why I don't do the bathing suits or the underwear either. It's not the bathing suits or the underwear. It's what's been in them that bothers me. You want to talk some Cowboys with them?
Yes.
We'll talk a little bit. We'll reiterate the Alamo Dome parking and parking lot, but Pags first. You got your intro?
I do.
Okay. Okay. A little quick thing from Pags, and then we'll be. Oh, do you? So you're the one. We were wondering who it was. We appreciate it.
Downtown. We're heading down to the Dome. We're heading down to the Convention Center. And just,
So your office is at the Dome, right?
It's at the Convention Center.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Which
okay.
is, yeah.
But I'm at the Carver too. Carver too. Man, did you see their
That was
Yeah.
a great line.
performance is
Yeah.
gonna be?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marcellus.
Wynton
Marsalis.
Marsalis is awesome.
There's like
Yeah.
3 of them.
Yeah, but Wynton's the one that, he played with Eric Clapton, did an album with Eric Clapton. He's great, man.
Grammy Awards.
Yes, that's Wynton. Young dude too, man. He's not that old.
No, I'm talking about the whole
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
10
That's awesome, man. Now, what do you know about the downtown arena?
We're surprisingly attached.
That's what I figured.
We are going to expand.
I knew that was coming, yeah, because that's been on the books for a while, hadn't it? Yeah. And how many conventions do we draw there a year? It's slowed down, but it's picking back up, right? Jeez.
235 events.
Wow. Okay. Wow. But it slowed down for a while, right? When the pandemic, but then it started back. Is it back up to where it was before then?
Yes.
Okay.
Numbers
Okay.
are citywide. And again, that's Visit San Antonio.
Right, right. You just house them.
Yeah, we house them and service.
House them and service them, and then somebody else lines them up and does all that part.
You make them have a great time.
Yeah.
Because they come back. And it's huge
Yeah.
money.
Oh God, just well, you think about it. Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah.
But you think about it too, when you're down at the convention center, anything that you want to do is there. It's walkable. It's a quick ride on a horse and carriage or yeah. Are we getting in trouble? Oh, hi.
Think before I speak.
No, we don't want that. No, that's for the Joe Pag show. We're not the Joe Pag show. No. All righty then. We reiterate the Def Leppard downtown parking.
Sure.
AlamoDome.com for the Arrive Mobility flash parking. Now, I won't say this on the air, but the Via Park and Ride service begins at 4 when the doors open at 4. But you're going to get down there and get dropped right off, too, so you don't have to worry about waiting for a parking spot. Yeah. Sure. Used to park in my wife's office and walk through downtown, but she retired, so we can't do that anymore. They took her parking away. That's what I said. Any way you can keep it? That was great. It was great, man. Stand by, Chris.
San Antonio's first news, Charity McCurdy going across the building to give Richard Oliver a hug a few minutes ago. If you were on the YouTube stream, you saw that hug. It was historic. We've never seen it before for any guest.
No.
Very, very cool.
Ever.
I'd like a freeze frame of that, please.
Andrew, could you get him that?
Yeah,
Thank you.
we'll get you the video.
thank
More
you.
with Richard Oliver in a moment. But right now, let's check in with Joe Pags of the Joe Pags Show. Joe is getting ready for next week's Democratic National Convention. Good morning, Joe.
That's right, Chris. The DNC isn't until next week, and I'm thinking a whole lot's going to change between now and then. You've got to figure that the now called nominee, Kamala Harris, is going to have to talk to reporters, is going to have to sit down and do some interviews, is going to have to do a press conference of some sort. You can't possibly just say what Donald Trump did with Elon Musk. It was just a friendly sit-down conversation. He was lisping, and it was no good, and he was slurring, and he was this and that. They're doing all they can to denigrate it, but according to Musk, and he's a numbers guy, 1 billion people have now listened to at least part of that conversation. You can't combat that by just insulting the conversation. You probably should get on a space yourself, or at least sit down and do some interviews. So between now and the DNC, we'll see if they make some availability for what we're told is the nominee to sit down and answer some questions. We're going to have Allie Bradley on. She, of course, is a great reporter on the border. That's been her beat for a long time. She tells the truth and gives it to us straight. Plus, how is our national security? Robert Greenway from the Heritage Foundation will come on and talk about the lack of response by the Biden administration to some attacks on Americans in the Middle East. That and more on the Joe Pags Show today at 5. News Radio 1200 WOAI.
Joe Pags Show, 5 to 8 p.m. today and every day. Catch it right here on 1200 WOAI. In studio with us, Richard Oliver, Director of Communications for the city's convention and sports facilities. And speaking of our facilities, 2 consecutive nights, tomorrow night, Frost Bank Center, Barry Manilow.
Oh,
it doesn't
man.
get much bigger than that.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of Low, Richard.
He
I
is.
will admit that.
He is a
I
fan
will
of Low.
admit that. And then Friday night, Def Leppard, Journey, and the Steve Miller Band at the Alamo Dome. I mean, That's a big 24 hours in San Antonio.
Yeah, that's reliving a lot of stuff too.
Yeah. Yes.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, and Donny Osmond last week.
You were there for
I
Donny
saw Donny
Osmond.
Osmond. I tell everybody, I said, look, that was a great show.
That's what I hear.
It was a great show. All my buddies are like, oh, Donny Osmond.
Well, and Tim
I said,
told me
let me
last
tell you,
week-
don't knock it. The guy was great.
He had, was it 45 albums?
65 albums.
65 albums.
65 albums, and that's 62 more than I knew of.
Yeah.
So-
Let me just say, my lovely bride who was with me was quite Twitter-pated.
Ooh.
And he has quite the array of backup dancers on that stage. It's impressive.
He brought his charity. He brought his whole Vegas show.
Yeah.
I mean, it was in Vegas.
Yeah.
It was outstanding.
And
I know.
did
And
you
you
do
know
one
Barry,
bad apple? Did you do one bad apple?
right off the bat.
Beautiful.
Puppy love.
Puppy love, yes.
Soldier of Love, which I actually really
You
like.
are a soldier.
I
of love.
will. Why? Thank you.
That's his
Chris.
new
I
title.
appreciate it.
And he came out in the audience and sang happy birthday to a girl.
He
a
did.
lady,
He came
yeah.
out. The guy's a showman. I mean, he came
Yeah.
out. Our buddy Chuck Carreau was there on the front row.
Of
And
course he was.
Of course, Chuck grabbed camera time and
Oh, yeah.
got the thing. But it was an absolutely wonderful show.
And he looks
Great.
good for his age, man.
Yeah. So I don't know if Journey and Def Leppard, I don't know if they're going to come out in the audience and, I have no idea about that.
Well,
But come on out and try it just to
Yes.
see. Be there.
It
if
could
in case
end
it
up
happens.
that way.
It could end up that way.
Could end up that way.
One way or the other. It could
It's
be.
rock and roll, man. You never know.
That's exactly right. No, Friday night, that's going to be an absolute blast.
And you mentioned the Eagles earlier, at least Chris did. What's the big act, Richard, you've been vying to get in the Alamodome?
Well, I know that there's a lot of great groups that are on tour internationally and everything.
Yep.
Metallica being one.
That would be good.
That's one we'd love to get in here. Obviously the Eagles. You go down the checklist of some that are really out there on the road right now. Everyone talks about Taylor Swift. Again, it's all about dates.
Yeah.
And what are the Alamo Dome as opposed to some of the facilities, like up in Austin Moody Center. Sometimes we have conflicts, and it's up to the acts on what
Yes.
dates they have, and then we try our best to try to fit it in there.
And we're
Believe me,
doing-
we try. We're on the phone and doing everything we can.
And the city is doing well with conventions coming into town.
Oh, we're doing great. We're pre-pandemic numbers.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, the convention center is a great place, and I've worked there for a couple of years now, and I'm astounded, guys, at how they ship in communities the size of Rockport.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then you bring them in Victoria. Okay, we're going to host a city for 3 days, and then get out, and when they have another one coming in 2
It's
days
amazing.
later, it's astounding.
It's
how they
amazing, yes.
Feed them, give them a great time. It's the most walkable, beautiful downtown in America. So it's a lot of fun to see the folks come in and enjoy San Antonio.
And when you say feed them, Richard, I got to believe that one of the reasons San Antonio is such a great destination for conventions is the food is so great here
Amen.
and downtown.
People leave fatter than when they came. There's no
Or they
doubt
just
about
move
it.
here.
Yeah, they just come in and happy,
Yes.
fat and happy. They leave
Yes.
and they know because we are a great culinary community.
And Richard, where do you stand on all this buzz about potential new Spurs arena downtown? I imagine that would be great for tourism.
It would be great, and and I'll speak as a citizen, just
Yes.
a citizen. I'd love to see that downtown
Well,
district
it would be
take
so
off.
nice, yes.
To expand the convention center, the Alamo Dome, obviously get some work done. The new Spurs arena, the baseball stadium.
Yeah.
I'm a baseball fanatic, so
Amen.
I'm really excited about this. And I love Ryan Sanders baseball, who are running the
Mhm.
missions. I love Burl Yarborough, those
I
guys.
love Burl, yeah.
All those folks are good. So I look forward to that. So just consider that. And then the Alamo and what's happening there.
Yeah,
so that's a lot
exactly.
of fun to think about.
Now, the convention center expansion's already going to happen. We know that's coming, right?
Nothing's been announced.
Okay.
But yeah,
Okay.
I would
But-
think that's
Because
certainly
I know
on the-
that's been talked about for years now that they need to expand it.
Yeah, but there's bigger events out there
Yeah.
now. And what's interesting, what's happening right now, and you'll see is Austin and Dallas are redoing their convention centers. So a lot of that business that was going there, at least temporarily, is looking for new homes.
And
so,
once they come here, they're always going to come here.
well, well, we hope so.
Yeah.
But you saw Austin, the running event, which is
Mhm.
going to be next to the marathon, is coming in. It's a big deal, and it's literally called the running event. One of the great
creative.
trade shows surrounding running in that industry that's coming in next year. So things like that the San Antonio is going to be able to see.
He is Richard Oliver, the Director of Communications for San Antonio's Convention and Sports Facilities. We're going to get you caught up on headlines, traffic, weather, and more. WOAI News Time is 8:47. Just ahead of headlines, traffic, and weather together. But first, Charity McCurdy, what stories are you tracking?
The U.S. presidential race is heading to North Carolina. A new warning about an ultra-violent Venezuelan street gang that's targeting law enforcement. And another name is in the race for S.A. mayor. We'll have details right now, traffic and weather.
Sunny skies today, tomorrow, and Friday. A few clouds each day and hot. Highs right around 100 all 3 days, but it's going to feel hotter. It is 79 degrees in Floresville, 80 at Randolph Air Force Base, and 79 right here in Stone Oak. WOAI News Time, 8:52.
San Antonio's first news, our thanks to Richard Oliver, our thanks to E.J. Pacheco and Andrew Zimmel for flying the Millennium Falcon. And Mr. T, throughout the morning, and Charity, we have been asking our listeners, how hot is it on the iHeartRadio app? And I think two themes emerged. Number one, it's very, very hot outside.
Yes.
And number two, Charity McCurdy is kind of increasing the temperature around San Antonio for some reason.
She really is. So we thought we would close with this one from Ed.
Good morning, WAI. First, right next to the word hot in the unabridged dictionary is the name Charity McCurdy. Other than that, it's hot enough to surf the heat waves.
Wow.
In the dictionary
In the
now.
unabridged dictionary.
Unabridged.
Wow.
Now your picture is in the dictionary, Charity.
I just think you guys like seeing me blush,
Well, it's not
hand
that
to
we
head.
don't like it. I mean,
Oh,
we do
too
like
kind. Seriously, way too kind.
it. We
Thank
had
you.
nothing to do with
Yeah,
it.
we
I
did
just
not-
set it out
we
there.
said, we asked people, how hot is it? That's all we did.
Yeah. Yeah, they went on their own, Charity.
And then the historic first ever charity hug of a guest.
I know. All the way
They-
from the other side in a different zip code.
Yes.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
You almost need to catch the tram to get over here before the commercial break ends.
But it's free parking.
It is free
So, yeah.
parking. But
There was speed walking involved, and I was trying to suppress my heavy breathing as a result before hugging Richard Oliver.
Yeah,
so
that would send the wrong message.
it
I'm just
would,
saying.
yeah. But he was well worth it.
Yeah.
he's great.
yes.
He was when I hugged him. It was real.
we love
well,
Richard
yeah.
Oliver. And Randy Beamer enjoyed that. We got a text
Yes.
from Randy Beamer who enjoyed that segment.
We did.
And luckily, Randy didn't say anything about charity.
I was going to say.
We would have had to report that on the radio.
But we have Fridays with Beamer, so
That's true.
we don't know. It could
That's
happen.
true.
The
It
week
could
is
happen.
young. The week is young. Randy Beamer will join us on Friday. You don't want to miss that. We will reconvene tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
Yes.
On a Friday Eve tomorrow.
Ooh.
We're just skipping Thursday and going right to Friday Eve.
I
like
thank
it.
God for that.
Beautiful. Glenn Beck is moments away. Before that, Charity at the top of the hour with all the big stories you need to know about. Right now, it is your Sean Hannity Morning Minute. Say goodbye to the people.
Everybody have a great
Adios.
day.
See you later.
Have a nice, cool, hot day.
Woo!
Bye, y'all.